Hey. I said, excuse me, but you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world, on span, cross the map. I've been laying low and now it's time to pop up, bitch, I'm back. Now I'ma run it up. Snooze on the kid, are you dumb or what? You better go get your numbers up. Now
Hello, everyone. Today is a spectacular and, how you say it, dark hour for MCU Bleeding Edge. Of course, I'm your moderator, Andreas Pop Culture Guy. Here today, I'm with four awesome folks. Of course, we got the awesome Jeff S. TrueKnowledge, the beautiful man, the person that's running everything here. And of course, you got the half shark, half Cyberneticshark. And of course, we got our two guests. Of course, Mr. Bruce and Chill himself, Ramon. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just chilling.
And of course, we got another guest who's also awesome, the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Imran, how you doing, sir?
I am well. I'm so glad to be back here with you guys. I missed you guys. This is going to be fun.
I feel like Imran and Raymond are a good combination of as guests, personally. Like you know,
Yes.
like the potential chemistry is there.
It's the hair, man. That's what it is.
I'm jealous of your hair. I wish I could grow white. That's amazing.
I'm jealous of your beard.
Oh, well, no, yeah. That just does its own thing.
Oh my god. Well, of course, happy Lent week. Lent is actually starting this week.
It's Ramadan. It's
Yeah,
Ramadan.
happy Ramadan, too.
Yeah.
A lot of things happening.
Say hi to
Yes.
Jasmine.
Yeah, so today, Wednesday, over here in my area, is Ash Wednesday. And, let me start with, Raymond, let me start with you. Let's kind of get your overall thoughts on the first two episodes of Daredevil Born Again. That's our show tonight, episode 1 and 2. Of course, title Heaven's Half Hour and Optics. So, Raymond, what you thought about this show, first two episodes? Did it exceed your expectations? What you like it? Or in your dislike? Go ahead, sir.
First off, the reunion. Just the fact that we're seeing these three characters coming back together, and right away, right after the reunion, is tragedy. The tragedy, like right off the bat, like they wasted no time at all whatsoever, just getting right into the action. And as far as the second one, I mean, it's just a lot of like it's shocking. It's a little shocking, the fact that Fisk. I love the dude who plays Fisk. I love what he did in the first series. The fact that he also came back was just awesome, and then the stuff that he's pulling off in episode 2, just damn, dude, like fuck. It's surprising. It's tragedy, and it's all these mixed emotions all in just 2 episodes.
No. I agree. Imran, your thoughts on the first episodes? Would you like and dislikes? Go ahead, sir.
I mean, a solid start to this series. I was really looking forward to this, but I was worried that Marvel was going to water it down because we've seen what we've had Charlie Cox do a couple appearances in the MCU. He does the walk of shame. Daredevil would never do the walk of shame. Come on. And then you got Fisk and they bring him back. Never. That's just silly. He could just swing away. No one would know. Why does he have his boots off? And then you see Fisk and he's like, weirdly, he's got more powers. He gets shot in the eye, but he's fine. But it's crazy because 10 years ago, the Daredevil series debuted on Netflix. And 10 years later, we're essentially getting a season 4. I felt it fit in tone with those. It was confident, stylish, violent, amazing. First 15 minutes of the first episode, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio are these characters. They're perfectly embodied these characters. And I just feel bad for poor Eldon Henson. They get him, they put him back in just to kill him right away. I hate when they do that. But man, aside from some of the CGI, a little wonky, I'm going to give it a pass because I'm loving the balls and the ambition they've already showed in these first 2 episodes.
Yeah, they do make up for that, actually.
Yeah. Saber, sir, what's your thoughts on the first episode? episodes, your like and dislike, sir.
So bringing back a character and kill him off for some sort of way to make the main character have to go in a certain direction pisses me right off. It is the fucking stupidest goddamn thing I've ever goddamn seen. Now, the original series was absolutely fantastic, what I've watched of it. And it's got that great poignant kind of drama feel along with action that's bloody and good. And this show, right off the gate, gets right into being that bloody mess, most definitely. But starting off with a major death of a character you just brought back after being gone for almost 10 years, it is just, I thought was stupid writing. So that did not get me off to a good start with this series. Second episode definitely was better because we have gotten past that. And, it's very fun. It's got lots of great action going on in it. It's a build up. It gives us an introduction to a new character that we have not seen in the Marvel Universe. And so I think that, overall, definitely I prefer the second episode versus the first episode. But overall, very good. Once we get past that initial beginning of the first episode, it does get better and it does get good. And then you have episode 2, which is a little better because we didn't have that stupid obstacle like we did in the beginning of the first episode. So overall, I think that, it's a solid start to the series.
Yeah. And speaking of, I kind of agree with you, Saber, about your comments about episode 2 being better than episode 1. I just find out that apparently this first episode was a major rehaul from the. So you can definitely tell, and we'll discuss that when I get to scene by scene. Jeff, what's your thoughts on the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, sir?
Well, Mr. Andres, pop culture guy, sir. What can I say? I mean, we have Daredevil back. Like Imran said, the show started almost 10 years ago or whatever. Initially, the whole concept of the Marvel Television label deal, was it's a really old thing now. But it was something that was real at one point. You know what I mean? In the diversity that was the MCU at times. They farmed out, content, a lot of content, to Netflix, and brought ABC in, to co-produce the show, and had showrunners and everything, and produce some really quality television, across the span of multiple shows, not just Daredevil. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't watched all of them. I'll put that right out there. I'm not going to lie about it. But the stuff that I did watch was very high quality. The first season of Daredevil is award, nominated, winning Emmy, type material, to some extent. Probably the only reason why it didn't do anything award-wise at that time was because of the superhero genre, crux. You know what I mean? That, always hurts the superhero type, style films and TV series, certain ones, can squeeze in there and still, do well, like WandaVision did with Emmys, right? But unfortunately, that's a rarity, not an all the time thing. But it's awesome. It's like I told Cyber earlier before the show, it feels really good to be covering Daredevil. Covering stuff like Daredevil is why we do the MCU'S Bleeding Edge, it's, for times like this, shows like this. And the first 2 episodes are really high quality, really top notch, totally differently they look different, they feel different than any of the other Marvel Disney Plus shows have had. Like the tone of it, the energy of it is totally different in a different place. It has that street level energy to it, that vibe to it, and that is something that the MCU has been missing. Has been that the street level storylines. To some extent. You know what I mean? We haven't had a ton of it. And those characters, those stories do well. They do with people. And there's a lot of Daredevil fans out there. There's a lot of fans of the original Daredevil Netflix series, that are very passionate about the show, I'm just really, I'm going to cry, I feel sentimental. It's so nice to be able to have an experience like, reviewing something that's really, top notch, and it's MCU too at the same time. And we're the MCU's Bleeding Edge. It's, it's like a, perfection, right? So
it's fitting.
Episodes 1 and 2 are really, really good. I for some reason felt like episode 2 was a lot shorter than episode 1, but I guess that was just like mind playing tricks on me kind of deal or something like that, because they really weren't that different in time. Yeah, I love the way that they shot the show, this episode, the series. It's a different kind of style, photogenically, than you usually see in the Disney Plus stuff. It's almost adapted to the city in a way, kind of, right? I love that BB news or whatever, like BB interviews, like stuff that they do as like a side, side story kind of deal, right? With the episodes, that's a really good touch. That they added that. That was that worked out well. I felt, and it gives the show like a really cool, like retro early 2000s reality TV kind of like vibe. You know what I mean? Which I dig. Like an old school, early 2000s reality TV kind of energy in a way. It's campy, in a way. Like, but I like it. Good to see all the characters back. Yeah, it's fucked up that they killed Foggy from Jump. Imran, I can't believe that they did that. That's kind of insane. I don't know why they did that. But I guess they felt like they had to, So I thought that was kind of stupid, to be honest with you. I like that actor that plays Foggy. And if that's going to cause Karen to not be on the show too, like I don't see how that benefits the fans or like, benefits the audience. You know what I'm saying? Because Karen's a good character, They kind of killed off 2 birds with 1 stone with that death. So, I guess they're going to have different secondary characters now for Matt / Daredevil to work with. You know what I mean? And I guess that that seems to be working so far. We'll see how it plays out long term over 9 episodes, right? Yeah. But and that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, let's get into that opening because. Yeah, I was shocked. So this opening, we see our 3 characters here, walking after finishing their work in the Nelson, Mentor, and Cage firm as they created after the 3rd season of Daredevil. If anyone knows, they joined together to form a new firm under their names. So we see that, which was kind of cool, and it was great to see those 3 again.
Andres, I don't mean to cut you off, but I didn't watch season 3. So I stopped watching Daredevil in the middle of season 2. So I'm probably gonna have some questions once in a while. I'm gonna put out there because honestly, there was some stuff I didn't understand.
I mean, we got Bullseye from that season also, and this first episode is almost like an epilogue from the end of season 3.
See, if you didn't watch the whole episode. If you didn't watch the whole 3 seasons of Daredevil arc, you wouldn't know that that's Bullseye.
Right.
I didn't know.
There's a post-credit scene at the end of season 3 where Bullseye's getting as a spine or a metal or some kind of powered.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't die. I was like, that dude should be dead. Bro just threw him off a building.
That's why he didn't die.
There you go, Imran. Thank you for explaining one of my questions right there. I was
wow. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Is that-
it was literally the post-credit scene of the last episode.
Dude, I
What's this?
haven't seen it in so long.
Me
I
too.
totally forgot.
Yeah.
You know what, Jeff?
was
Just
so
watch
crazy.
one of those, the Screen Crusher. They all have like recap videos of all those. It's very helpful. I did watch one of those. It'll catch you right up.
I'm waiting for Andre's supposed to send me one.
Noted.
I'm waiting
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, tonight I'm gonna send it. No worries.
Oh yeah, tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Yes, because we're gonna have a show on Sunday. It makes sense today. I'll go send it after doing Daredevil board again. But yeah, thank you everyone for explaining that. Also, I know there's a lot of questions about like these characters, especially Bullseye. So after we see our three characters walking down, going to the bar Josie's to celebrate this like new character named hold on, let me say Cherry's retirement from the police force. And so our three main characters from the Netflix show are kind of like hanging out. We see that Foggy is interacting to a district attorney called Christine McDuffie. I don't know if that last name is wrestling Dwayne McDuffie, who is a great writer, but I don't know. But that's
She's
kinda,
from the comics also. Kristen McDuffie and the other
okay.
girl. They're both in the Daredevil comics.
yeah. Heather Grant, I knew she was
Heather
from the
Glenn
comic.
also, yes.
Yeah, she is from the comic books. So like you're seeing this like very quiet, like very peaceful kind of like like entertainment tonight, like do your hangouts you do as adults. So but then this is where we get into the action here, where Foggy steps out because he gets a call from a associate of him like hiding into his apartment. We don't know what's going on, and like of course by the way, I really dug that they know how to handle Daredevil's powers. Like I like how you hear like you can hear very far what they're saying. You also can hear the heart rate. That was really cool because that was something that's a very important aspect of Daredevil because his senses are really high as a superhero. So that was really neat. And
You notice the aspect ratio changed? You guys notice that?
yes,
When he's listening to Foggy, it's like letterbox, and then the whole thing opens up. The whole frame.
Opens
You're
up.
like, whoa.
It brings
yeah,
a whole new meaning to selective hearing.
Yeah.
They made sure that they brought that back for the Netflix series. That
So
whole
cool.
the whole focus on his senses.
yeah, which is good because I mean, yeah, he's a blind guy. But
It's an important aspect of his character.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
thing.
exactly his thing.
That is
So-
saying.
Yeah, his thing. So Cameron and Matt step outside talking to Foggy about what's going on, and he explains that he's hiding banned from some trouble he's in. So Matt like walks away, do his super thing of like just jumping off rooftops and becoming Daredevil, which I was kind of shocked they did this. So they're really like not only they're committed to the like Netflix show, but they're also trying to make it more comic book Daredevil, like see him doing those like jumps that we see from his comic book stuff in general. So he arrives, but then while Foggy is talking to this character that is at his apartment, we see like a cut where some mystery guy is like, first off, I was cracking up when I saw this. I don't know if they're doing this because of the Daredevil movie, but it was really cool to see Bullseye like throwing the whatever this thing was.
It's a paper clip into a
Paperclip.
fly, just
Fly.
like Colin Farrell's Bullseye. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a bit over the top.
It's so great.
yeah,
That is some accuracy, man. It's like Miyagi catching the fly with the chopsticks and Karate Kid shit right there.
oh my god, the Karate Kid. So I love that scene.
Pretty
and
much.
and the glove when Bullseye was kind of like fixing the light bulb, you do see his symbol
Oh,
for
yeah.
his original comic book. So if you don't know, that was Bullseye. So I kind of like that they kind of Easter egg that to like tell us that that's Bullseye. And then after the call kind of hands up, Foggy's like, where are you, dude? And then it's all of a sudden, bam, Daredevil, I say Bullseye, shots Foggy, and then everything kind of just starts getting crazy during the scene in Josie's bar. And then slowly we get this like cool slow motion of Bullseye coming in from the fog.
Well, Bullseye,
then-
he drops that like that big ass smoke grenade into the bar or whatever,
Yeah.
and that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, in the bar, yeah, which is crazy. And then of course he meets Karen, and then I love how his first line is "Hello, Karen," because he knows Karen from the previous season, season 3. And yeah, he almost attacked Karen, but then Daredevil arrives, soon quickly, and he starts attacking him. And this, so I like the scene. I like that they stick with the Daredevil action, but you can tell they kind of did some CGI here. But it's okay action scene here. But man, seeing Daredevil getting hit by those knives was very brutal. I did not expect that. So I kind of like that they get that for both sides to like as weapons. So that was really cool. And you see that in the bar where they're doing this long continuous shot, just like hallway fight scenes as we usually see in the Daredevil series. He does that, and you're seeing oh my god, every civilian getting hurt by Bullseye, which was crazy. Like there was one moment he throws one of the what do you call it? Those balls,
the pool ball, at the both, but 2 people, like.
There were some that were a little unnecessary when he started going up the stairs, and he
but
just killing random people just standing there. Get out of my way! Those people are idiots to be.
Yeah, and because one of the guys say, "Hey, honey, we need to call the cops. Something's going on there." And it's like
he's just like shunk.
Shunk.
And he like punches the girl, I think, on the way up.
That was crazy. Like again, showing how crazy Bullseye is. So, of course, we see Daredevil like fighting him as humanly possible, and you think, after getting hit by a couple of knives from Bullseye, Daredevil was able to get up to the roof, but Daredevil swing up to the roof like Spider-Man style, which was crazy, and he does subdue Bullseye. But at the same time, this was really cinematic. I really appreciate what they did here. Was it was so sad to see Daredevil hearing slowly the heartbeat of Foggy, just slowly dying. Like such a great cinematic choice and like good storytelling to tell us what's going on. And so after this, you see Daredevil hearing that, and then bam, Foggy's dead. His heartbeat stopped, and Karen starts to cry, and then Daredevil is so frustrated, and he does the Batman thing to Bullseye. First off, he took off his mask, and it's like, why you did do this? And then bam, hard card throws Bullseye into the ground, and this is where I thank you, Imran, for explaining this. This is a wrapping up point for this scene, but as you see here, you think he's dead, but because of season 3 post-credit scene, he had a experimental spine surgery, so he survived after we see a little bit of his eyes moving, and like he survived from that fall. So I was happy about that because I could have been. I get why you're angry. How like I understand where you're coming from, Cyber, because it's the same thing with Secret Invasion with Marie Hill.
Yes,
but thankfully they didn't do that with Bullseye too, because if they did 2 deaths in this one episode, I could have been very angry. But thankfully it's just the 1 death. And then after that, we see the police cop, Cherry, if I'm saying his name right, Cherry, seeing the identity of Daredevil. Like he sees Matt as Daredevil, and so he knows his secret identity. And then we get the cool shot of the Daredevil mask dropping down, and you see one horn get cut off, and it has the D for Daredevil. So I love that. And then we cut to the credits. We see the new Daredevil Born Again credits sequence, which is so cool. Old statue, like everything is like breaking down. And then that's our new title sequence for Daredevil. So let me wrap up. Let me stop here before we get into the 1 year jump. Let me start with Jeff. Jeff, what you thought about this first sequence of Daredevil Born Again? You like it? What you thought about the beginning sequence, sir?
It was like elite, like hand-to-hand combat fighting, like action scenes, like action, like type action scene, like real, like hardcore, like John Wick, like hardcore, like hand-to-hand combat, like street level, bloody, fucking, brawling, in a bar, you know what I mean? That, like that looks like a fucking war zone, you know what I'm saying? the feeling of it's really fucked up, to be honest with you. That whole set of scenes is fucked up because they start off, they lull you in by like showing you Foggy and Karen and Matt together again. They're back. You know what I mean? Like, like one of the most positive aspects of the Daredevil series, right? Those those three characters, right? And like it's a very enthusiasm building, this nostalgic sort of opening, to have them together like that. You know what I'm saying? They look different, they look they look a little bit older. Obviously, it's been 10 years since they started, right? But like it's them. And then so quickly into the show, right? Although it is, we're talking about these long episodes, right? So these are some long scenes. So quickly right off the bat, Foggy gets shot, that it's almost auto, they go right to that. And honestly, I was shocked when they killed him. Like I figured he would survive that shot, when this shit would have happened. I'm like, oh, he'll live, or whatever. Because he's important on the show. But they killed him off. And obviously that's a big loss, right? For everybody, especially for Matt, for Karen. So it's very impactful from a storyline standpoint. I see it, I understand the move. I just personally would have preferred that they would have kept him alive for the show, to be honest with you. As a fan, I think the show is better with Foggy in it than without it, truthfully. But that's just my take. Who am I? I'm just TrueKnowledge, bitch. What's up? Come on, but no, so really, really, really like top notch. Like never seen anything like it before on a Marvel Disney Plus series level fighting and violence. And like gritty action. That's like totally high caliber production when it comes to action, as far as I'm concerned, that whole opening. And what the fuck, again, I didn't watch season 3. In what way is Daredevil actually like flying from roof to roof now?
I mean, he's got his baton and the rope.
It has the ropes in it. Out of the comics or whatever, and he's doing it like that. Okay.
Yeah, they did that a little bit on the Daredevil show. It's a little more CGI here.
Yeah,
Another thing,
he does it like Batman, but in a poor way.
Yeah.
If you are a MCU fan like me that did not, unfortunately, what the fuck's wrong with me, right? Did not sit and watch all of Daredevil. When you go to watch this show, you're going to have some question marks. I'll tell you that right now.
the other thing to note is I believe Bullseye does know Matt Murdock is Daredevil.
Obviously, he does. Yes, that was a question. That was a question I had in my notebook. You know what I mean? But like, obviously, there's an obvious answer to that. Bullseye obviously discovers his identity in season 3,
they had a big fight unmasked with Kingpin and him in season 3. So like they all know who everybody is, those 3.
I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of Daredevil. I'll tell you right now, Daredevil. I know how high quality Daredevil is. So if there's one show out there that you would go back and finish, it's Daredevil. Just totally, you couldn't ask for a better opening really or start to the show than that fight. I don't know a lot about this Bullseye character compared to the comic book character. I don't know a lot about this the Daredevil Netflix version of him. I got to go back and check that out. But he's really fucking crazy, man. He's really nuts. Really fucking crazy, and very interesting character. Which I'm sure they'll bring back because he'll get out of jail. He'll figure out, with his abilities and whatnot. Yeah, he'll get out. He'll be back. You'll see him in the show again, in season 2 or some shit. He'll get out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that somebody like him wouldn't go to the raft, other type of like individuals have gone. You know what I mean? They put the Falcon in the raft. You know what I'm saying? And Hawkeye on the raft, right?
Yeah.
So why the fuck wouldn't that guy go to the raft? You know,
I don't know. I think you don't trust him with things to throw. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They should have sent him to the raft prison out in the ocean or whatever. You know,
yeah,
where Abomination is. You know what I mean?
Sure, he's a super villain.
You know, yeah. I mean, why the fuck would you
he's
send
just
it?
low level. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
yeah. It's weird with the
Yeah,
rap.
yeah. They just had like
There's too
that
much paperwork.
They just had that. They just had that whole. They had that whole device on him that contained and restricted his hands, so he couldn't use his hands. You know.
By the way, that was fun. I when he'd stand up, I saw like what the heck they put in his hands.
Bullseye is the level of villain like that Taskmaster should have been in the MCU. If they done Taskmaster correctly,
Right.
Taskmaster is of that level, like Bullseye of like ability. You know, when it comes to like his real abilities. You see how impactful he is in in episode 1. He's very dangerous individual. You know what I'm saying? Could really cause a lot of carnage and violence really quickly. If he wants to. Just so much fucking violence in that opening. And that's Daredevil, right? Like that's borderline like one of the most important definitive words that people throw out there to label Daredevil as a show is the violence, the blood, especially the hand-to-hand combat too is always been known to be of like the best, right? Kind of type of choreography, everything, right? They've always, on Daredevil, they've always had the best. And, honestly, really great opening. It's exciting to be watching Daredevil as a series on Disney Plus, like in 2025, and the whole ending with Foggy dying, and then Karen being all sad and everything. Very powerful. From an imagery standpoint, and from being a Daredevil fan standpoint, very powerful, impactful opening way to start the series and start the first episode.
Yeah, no, thank you, Jeff. Crazy opening. I was not expecting.
Didn't Daredevil take some of those knives and throw them into Bullseye too?
Yes, he did. I love when he took them out. Yeah,
that was very that's why I love Daredevil, bro, because he threw those fucking knives at Bullseye, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's Punisher type shit. Like doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I love that about Daredevil. He's brutish, bro. He's a thought. He's like he's savage when he wants to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is. He's like the hardcore Batman of Marvel, which is kind of cool. Anything else, sir? Before I head to Cyber, sir, are you all good for the beginning?
I can be a savage too occasionally in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Like in the bedroom, baby. I'm a savage. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Remember that story I told you about when I used my mouth to pull that tampon out of that chick that one time?
I've heard this story.
We hear this story, Jeff.
Sir,
that was Daredevil level Bullseye savagery.
Sir, we're talking about a dark psychological courtroom show, and now you're talking about.
Sir, if you would have saw the video of that moment of my life, it was very.
That story is pretty. Fucked you up psychologically. So.
You probably look like Daredevil covered in red and shit.
It was dark. I was smiling about it and everything, but it was a dark thing.
It was just it was like Matt Murdock. Couldn't see nothing.
Yeah, there was
way around.
There was a psychologically dark scenes that night with the tampon thing in my mouth and everything.
That's called ant farming.
Pull that thing out like that with my teeth.
I'm kidding. I just made that up.
Oh my god.
That was like some shit. That was like some Daredevil shit, bro.
Oh my god. Raymond, that will be the best MVP moment ever in the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. Thank you, sir. Anyway, thank you, Jeff. Saber, let me hear your thoughts on the beginning. I know your thoughts here, but what you thought about the beginning and the end point is really the new credits we get for the show. Go ahead.
So, like I said before, killing Foggy was the stupidest fucking thing they could have done. Absolutely stupid. I'm going to keep pointing that out. Stupid. Anyways, once we get past that, and the fighting starts getting on, as Karen is supposedly trying to save Foggy by just pressing her hand on the wound.
Squeeze
Don't
the
even get
blood
me
out,
started there,
Karen.
too.
Squeeze all the blood out,
Yeah,
Karen.
don't even get me started on that too.
Yeah.
Anyways, the fighting sequence here, with Bullseye and Daredevil is really fantastic. I thought it was really top-notch fighting. It was bloody and good. It felt like a hard TVMA rating. I mean, all those freaking knives that were stuck in Daredevil cracked me up. I was like, holy crap, why haven't you pulled out any of those knives? At least a couple of them, dude. You're just getting way too pincushion here. And he keeps fighting with him in it, and I think that's absolutely hilarious. And at the same time, just shows how resilient Matt Murdock is as Daredevil. But the when he throws the canister in that gas, and they end up actually going into the bar and start fighting in there and stuff like that was really cool. And I like how they have it where as they progress, they have it where the doors get closed at one point, but then they come flying through them, which was really cool. And overall, I think that it, like I said, the choreograph there is done really well. I think it looks really like a genuine fight going on. And they just keep hitting each other and beating each other up, and it's hilarious. At the same time, every single time, I feel like Bullseye keeps putting knives in him, and you're just like, okay, when is he gonna run out of knives here? Okay, first they can have that many fucking knives on them and not run out. Okay,
Reload.
Exactly what I thought.
Reload.
How much
He's Bullseye.
this
Come
guy
on.
got?
Yeah.
Because as they progress into the stairway, he still got stuff to throw, and I'm like, what the hell? And stuff like that, and as he's trying to battle Daredevil still, and he's taking out innocent bystanders at the same time, you're just like, wow, this guy is just fucked up. But I thought the guy that played Bullseye did a really good job. I think that however he played him in the original series in season 3, I have no idea. I have not watched season 3.
Same guy. Yeah.
I think he's gonna probably do good in that season when I watch it, because he did fantastic here, because he really felt like a heartless thug that was doing this job or whatever you want to call it. And because that whole connotation there, I feel like this was kind of I read an article basically that said that, they brought back Karen and they brought back Foggy, but they thought, oh, well, we got to kill one off to kind of keep the status quo kind of deal. And they said that kind of Foggy had it coming basically, because in season 3, he had a lot of run-ins with Bullseye, or he had some sort of thing with Fisk, Kingpin, whatever, that it was basically getting revenge on Daredevil by killing Foggy, basically.
Yep.
And so them doing that, and unless you've watched that season, you're kind of like, that's fucked up. So it's just one of those things. You're like, okay, I get it, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessary. I think they should have killed off Karen. I would have preferred them killing off Karen versus Foggy, because I think Foggy is just a better character to work with. And at the same time, I think Eldon Henson is a better actor than Deborah Ann Wool is. Yeah, she's just a pretty face, basically. I mean, yeah, red hair, very cute. But other than that, that's all she fucking is just a goddamn pretty face. So I'm like, yeah, let's keep the eye candy and get rid of the actual talent. So I was kind of like, this is, I don't mind eye candy, but at the same time, you could have brought in some other eye candy and kept the good actor. But overall, I think that whole fight sequence was freaking intense and crazy. So as they get up onto the roof and everything, and they're still battling and stuff like that, and he gets him on the edge and is beating him still, and just throws him off. That was fucking awesome. I loved it when he threw him. And at first, when I'm thinking to myself, oh, is that going to kill him? And it doesn't kill him. And I was like, what the fuck?
It should have killed him. Yeah.
It should have killed him. I'm like, what the hell? He just got thrown off
that
7-story building.
That shit was like that lady from 9/11 that fell from the building and the front part of her survived, but the but the bottom part squashed or whatever. Yeah.
And so until you watch later on when he's on trial, which I don't want to go that too far, but anyways, you find something out that you understand kind of why he was able to survive that fall. So it was kind of like one of those things. Unless you had watched season 3 again, you know, you would have known that, and you would have said, "Oh, okay, I can see why he survived." But at the same time, you're just like, as he falls off and he doesn't splatter or anything, no blood, no. I'm like, dude, that was like at least 100 feet. I mean, he would have splatted something or something. Yeah. I'm like, what? But yeah, to go back to the Karen pressing on the wound and like pretty much pushing all the blood out of Foggy, to me sounds like she was trying to kill him. That's what it looked like to me. It didn't look like she was trying to help him.
Sometimes that medically happens in life, Cyber. Sometimes people when they try to help, they harm.
Daredevil, Jeff. It's fake. It's not real.
It's like she missed the hole
in real life.
I was like, Karen, you got to cover the hole, not press next to the
hole. Karen missed. She missed the CPR class.
Yeah, maybe she wasn't.
She missed a lot of things. But anyways, so like that whole thing cracked me up too. At the same time, like, what is stupidity is this? And all I can think of is that this is all reshoots. This is all new. This was not the original story they were going with. Yeah. So what were they fucking thinking of doing before this? So I'm like, okay, I'm a little happier they decided to go this route because I don't want to know what the fuck they were going to do before. But overall, I think that the beginning of this, this episode, really top-notch action once it gets past, the Foggy situation and really gets some ass kicking, which was done really well. And then we get into those great new credits. So really, really fantastic action at that beginning.
Thank you, Cyber. Carol was so stupid, holding like the pressure on Foggy's body, and it's like, dude. And first of all, where's the ambulance? Why did it take so long to get there? Because I don't know, Hell's Kitchen is so stupid. Anyway, I thought that was
the doctor told me, he said I should stop drinking alcohol immediately. Those were his words. He said immediately. Wow. And it was really difficult for me to accept, but at the end of the day, I had to make that decision. I stopped immediately. I stopped going to a doctor for advice because, who needs that kind of advice in your life?
As he pulls the drink out. That's fantastic.
Oh,
great twist. God. That is a plot twist ending right there. It's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie in 30 seconds. Yeah. Jesus.
TrueKnowledge won tonight for the MVP. Sorry, Raymond.
Fucking doctors.
I stopped going to the doctor. Yes, that's a good advice.
Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, before that, it was a twist. Funny clip. Thank you, Jeff. I agree with Saber. If they killed Karen, that could have been a close, for the comic books, because Karen did get killed in the comic books, and she's still dead up to now in the Daredevil comic book continuity. So I was kind of surprised they killed Foggy. But then at the same time, I think I remember in one of the runs called the Mark Waid run of Daredevil, in that Foggy was diagnosed with cancer. And I don't know if he made it through with that in that run. I think he did. So it was about time one of those characters were going to kill. But I was surprised they went with Foggy. But I didn't mind it. It wasn't like it served a purpose to the story. When we get into the 1 year later, it really affected Matt's whole world view and all that. And so I thought it worked necessary to that story, because unlike a lot of deaths we've seen in movies and TV, especially Maria Hill of Secret Invasion, her death was completely unnecessary. It didn't affect the storyline, Secret Invasion, even the like with Talos when he died too. It didn't serve anything. So anyway, Ramon, my true Time Lord master, what are your thoughts on the beginning of the sequencer up to the new credits? Yes, he's my master. He is the Time Master himself.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, come on.
Why do you call
Jesus Christ, what kind of kinky shit's going on behind the scenes?
Why do you call people your nicknames?
Because he's my people. He's my kind. That's why I'm a Time Lord, because I'm from his kind, the Time Lords, He's the
Yeah,
time
Jeff,
master.
keep up. Shit.
Yeah, keep up, sir.
Like I have to agree with you, Andre, with the cinematic thing that they did with the death of Foggy. That was intense. It was totally like it was at the same level that we would this type of stuff that we got from the first series, which I loved. And just the way that he kind of broke down, like you see his soul just completely crushed during the fight with him and Bullseye, and when he threw him off the damn building, I started cracking the fuck up because I did not see that coming. Like I knew he was gonna lose his shit somehow, some way, but I did not see that coming. He just like tossed him like a used tampon, like Jeff says. And the entire fight sequence, like just like what's it called? He was saying that those unlimited knives, like there was no point of those knives ever stopping. Like at some point, I honestly thought he was just gonna turn around, pull down his pants, and just like fart one out of his asshole too. Like that is literally all that was needed for that to like end it. Like that would have been like his last resort once he ran out, but he never did. So magical unlimited knives. I mean, sure, why not? The bar fights. I mean, I like a good bar fight scene. It's a classic, and I can kind of see where Cyber is going with them removing Foggy off the show, but I also get why they did it, because I mean, I liked it for the fact that everything was so super fast paced. So in order for Daredevil to be quote unquote be born again, something tragic had to happen very, very quickly. So that was their way of doing it. So I get that, but I also agree with Jeff because I also like his work. I like his acting. I like what he does. So it's a 50-50 for me with the Foggy being gone. But again, I understand why they had to do it. And what else? What am I missing? I think that's pretty much it. Overall, the fighting was just phenomenal. It was great. I want to see some more of that. We didn't get it in episode 2, which is a little disappointing, but the story though, the story gets interesting as it gets deeper.
Yeah, no, I agree. Imran, your thoughts on the beginning sequence up to the new credits, sir? What you thought about it?
Just an amazing start. That was a 4-minute like one take presented as one take. It's up there with that hallway scene from the first season. If it might even top it, because them pushing in, starting in the bar, pushing out, then they push back in, then it goes up the stairs, and it's one continuous shot the whole time until he gets on top there. It's so good. I also love what they brought back. This is the only show when superheroes fight, you really see how exhausting it is to brawl with somebody. No other movie shows you that. People just fight and they're fine. But in the first season of Daredevil, he's punching so hard, he's falling down on top of people. Like the brawling, the brutality is so wonderful. I did not see them killing Foggy. That surprised the shit out of me. I did not think he was going to throw him off the fucking building. That surprised the shit out of me. I was like, all right, okay, you got my attention. You got balls here, Marvel. Now, here's the thing about Foggy. We may see him again. The showrunner actually is confirmed. Karen Page, Deborah Ann Wool, and Eldon Henson will be in season 2 of this show. I don't know what that means. Whether it's a flashback, whether maybe he was a Skrull, or maybe he's talking to a ghost.
Oh no.
I don't know what that means. I don't know. But there's a storyline in the comics where Foggy fakes his death and goes under witness protection. And even Matt does not know that Foggy's still alive. So I don't know. I think we'll see some more of him somewhere sooner than later. But that is the way to show your audience, oh, we're back, and we didn't forget Netflix. And let's go. I like the opening credits, but I gotta be honest, I love the Netflix opening credits with the red dripping blood 3D.
Yes.
Like
I have to agree with that too.
So I think that was still better. That is all. It's just beautiful.
I thought their Disney Plus's take was okay for
It's
know as a
it's okay
to add to the original.
Yeah. What about the music? Because this is
music's
the news.
great.
Okay. Yeah, because this is by the X-Men '97 composers.
Okay.
And I thought it was really great music. But
The score is great. The choice they played like TV on the radio, Nick Cave, these great songs. All the music choices have been phenomenal.
Yeah. No. I agree about the credits because I thought it was I like it, but I still love the Netflix. I'm been watching the first season and I just love
it's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. And okay, so after we see the new credits, as we were discussing now, we jump into 1 year later where Matt has completely retired as Daredevil. So he did his Spider-Man no more, basically. So he's hung up the cape and cowl and all that. So he's in the apartment. He's getting ready to go to a trial. Of course, the what do you say, the Bullseye trial. And this was a great scene. Speaking of Charlie Cox, love Charlie Cox. He's amazing. I thought this scene was so incredible, like very emotional because of, now that Foggy has died like a year now. And I feel like this was so incredible, like well directed and well written. See him trying to do his his turn about what Bullseye did during the Josie attack, and you see, Bullseye alive and, all that. And then while he's talking, he hears Karen coming in, which was really cool. He hears the heartbeat of Karen. So Karen comes into the courtroom and of course, he, stops a little bit and then he talks back. And then after that, with his verdict and all that, pretty much Bullseye is sentenced to life, without parole. So that was, great to see. And then we get a little, a talk with Karen and Matt. Of course, she has moved on. She moved out New York. She's in San Francisco, which is kind of cool, actually, because if that's a cool Easter egg, because Daredevil went to San Francisco during the 70s and his run. So that was very nice. And that's cool too, because maybe one day he can meet up with Shang-Chi or Ant-Man. So, those the other two San Francisco heroes. And before that, before we went to, I think, the trial, we also meet up his new firm, of course, with former District Attorney Kristen McDuffie. And, he's still running as a lawyer. And he also has the retirement cherry as his go-to person to go over, check some backgrounds or, get some information.
His investigator.
Investigator. Yeah. Thank you, investigator. If you've seen Bull, the CBS Bull, there's a investigator there, and Bull asks this lady to do some checking on the clients or their opposite, they're against them. So we see that's our new triad basically with Matt, because we don't have Karen anymore. She's over to San Francisco. She left. So it was really sad, but I kind of like that we saw Karen one last time. I don't know how she's going to be factored in for season 1, but apparently she'll be back season 2. So after that, after Dex is giving the life sentence Bullseye, we get Kristen McDuffie sets Matt up with a date with a therapist, Heather Glenn, another love interest from the comic book. So that was kind of neat. They did that. And the two head off. It was funny at first. And during this time, we see really cool, another aspect of, Daredevil's abilities, hearing people's thoughts and all that, or, their heart rates and all that. And I like how we get this to it.
Daredevil doesn't hear people's thoughts, motherfucker.
Well, so let me correct that, because he hears far, later on when he hears later towards the end of the episode, Fix won the election and he hears it far. I was like, wait a minute. Can he hear people talk that far?
He has expanded hearing compared to normal people.
Yeah.
Like he hears a higher range and frequency and level than other people do. Yes.
Yeah,
He can hear you touching yourself from miles away.
Yeah.
You sinner.
That's like somebody's being naughty. I can hear the rubbing.
Like when your dick is like thwacked or whatever, you get direction. Like he can hear it. You know.
He's like, that was a queef. I heard it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, let me move on. No.
It's a good and a bad thing, these powers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, he's the real Santa Claus. If you think about it, he
hears everybody. He can hear everybody talking. He knows if they're naughty or nice.
Yeah, nice, exactly. So after that, like fake, the date theme setup. We also see, I'm just reading Wikipedia here. They don't go for full detail here. But after this, I think we also see Vanessa back again. Vanessa Fisk.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, thank you. Still running for Kingpin's operation. She taking over the empire after I think Fix kind of got hit by, obviously the events of Hawkeye being shot by Echo, and plus visiting Echo in her show. And at the same time, we see Wilson Fisk deciding to run for mayor. And he by the way, great scene when Vanessa is doing the meeting for these like mafia people, basically for the portion of their percentage this month, right? The doors open up, and then you see Kingpin, and everything is like totally quiet. They're like okay, and then like they stand up. It's really great scene, and then you see these two talking to each other about the decision of going through this mayor campaign thing. So let me stop there. Let me go with you, Cyber. We found about the 1 year gap, the 1 year layer up to seeing again Vanessa and Wilson talking to each other about the mayor campaign. Go ahead.
So honestly, like the whole courtroom scene is pretty basic. It's your totally lawyer type of aspect of the Daredevil show, because Matt Murdock being a lawyer, and we got to see supposedly Foggy getting justice with Poindexter, aka Bullseye, getting put into jail for several life sentences without the possibility of parole. And we briefly see Karen, which we find out she's in San Francisco now, and we're just kind of like, yeah, good riddance. We don't need to see you anymore. And so kind of moving on from that and going to Kingpin, and kind of the campaign whole thing going on. You're kind of like, this is an interesting move for Kingpin to do, becoming mayor of New York, Hell's Kitchen area. I'm like, I mean, that's one way of gaining more power when you're trying to be a giant crime boss. We kind of get, the aspect of a little bit about how him and his wife are estranged from each other because he was healing up from being shot by Echo and stuff like that. And so that made me wonder, the whole shot by Echo at the end of Hawkeye versus Echo the show. So I'm still trying to piece together, is Echo supposed to be before Hawkeye and then Hawkeye happens?
No, Echo happens afterwards because he's injured when he shows up in Echo. But I don't know how much time has passed between the end of the Netflix show and the beginning of the show.
Echo clearly comes out after Hawkeye.
And you think getting shot in the head would be a big thing, but I guess not. Apparently not.
Yeah.
Not in Marvel.
So that still is kind of confusing because they have it where, Fisk is definitely healing from being shot in Echo. But at the same time, there's definitely aspects of Echo where that it could definitely be taken, to be a different time frame.
Yeah.
So it definitely, it's not a very cohesive story. That's where I was trying to go in that aspect. So, basically, if you're just to go with the Hawkeye ending, which I think is the ending we should go with, is exactly, what to watch and to see where Fisk is at and him dealing with what he's dealing with. So I think that they do a good job there with that. And so giving you kind of that idea of, of them, kind of what they're dealing with that whole situation between him and his wife, because I think it was great that they actually brought back the gal from season 3 to play his wife again, because originally they had hired another woman to play his wife.
Oh yeah.
And then after the rewrites and reboot, basically changing where the story was going, they decided to get her and bring her back. So I thought that was kind of interesting to find that out. But at the same time, I think that the whole campaigning thing, the whole like mayor thing, is a very interesting kind of great kind of addition to the Kingpin's empire. And I think that we're getting kind of an idea of where this is kind of moving towards with him becoming mayor. So I think that this section is really interesting, really gives you a lot to think about. But overall, it's pretty basic. It's nothing really exciting, but overall, it gives you something interesting to think about and where the story is heading.
Thank you, Cyber. Yeah, so let me try to clarify the continuity here. So this is after Echo, because Echo is because there was a post-credit scene or like a big credit scene where they foreshadowed the campaign thing. So that show does lead us to this show.
He mentions her too, and he's talking to Matt in the diner.
Matt. Yeah, so that is kind of cool. And with the eye thing, you do see he has a little like some adjustment with the eye, because like you do see some scars in his like what is it, left eye, or correct me, the eye that got shot. You see some scars there, which that's the surgery and the implication of the eye thing with the hearing thing. So yeah, so there's hints that it's following the events. It's just like we don't know how many months or like after Echo, which is fine, whatever. So let me Ramon, what are your thoughts on the 1 year later up to seeing again Wilson Fix and his wife?
I like that Kingpin is now in a very big lovable marriage. You can see it in his eyes. He's very miserable. You can also see it because he lost weight. And when they first introduce him, you can see that the wife has put him in a diet, because he's literally eating a piece of chicken and one piece of vegetable. So it's good to see that he's he's miserable in a good way, right? As far as the whole Echo thing, I never watched Echo, so I had no idea what was going on with that. When they would bring up him healing and stuff, I was so fucking confused. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, was there something before? Like, I don't know.
Nobody watched that show. I'll tell you that right now. Not a lot of people watch that show.
And as far as Hawkeye, I saw the whole thing. I don't remember it, because how long has it been since that show came out? Like
2021. 2021.
2021.
3 years. Like it's been 3 years since.
Yeah.
That's way too long. That did not stick. So I don't remember that, but the fact that Vanessa, the wife, kind of took over his place, and she's doing it so like flawlessly too. Like she's just like walking around like she literally owns the goddamn place, and the mobsters who are coming in and out and just like paying them off like they were like, I don't know, like those Mexicans that you just pick up in some corner somewhere. Like you just like, yeah, here you go. You're good. You're good with that. And then she mentions numbers like, you owe me this millions, blah blah blah, this and that. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty boss. That's pretty boss. So as she's doing good for herself. As far as Kingpin, I mean, when they start mentioning the whole mayor thing, if I'm not mistaken, I think something like that might have happened in the Spider-Man cartoon.
Yes, in the comics too.
Right?
That happens in the comics as well.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, like it sounds so familiar. It's like, okay, yeah, that they're doing that. So that was pretty fucking cool. And what else? I think that's really all I got for that. I'm just like psyched on what Vanessa taking over Kingpin because I don't know if they mentioned this in this episode or the second episode, because Kingpin did mention the vigilantes, and he mentioned Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the
Spider-Man.
second
He mentioned
episode.
Punisher.
Yeah.
He mentioned all those guys. So
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
I
really
think it was-
hoping to see that happen.
Yeah. This episode, he actually does say that after he won the election. We know
Yeah.
Punisher is in this season. We know that. We've seen that in the trailer, so that's gonna happen. Spider-Man. If Spider-Man 4 was supposed to be the more grounded movie, it was supposed to be instead of another multiverse thing. That was where the next time we could have seen Daredevil, but we're not. I don't know what's going to happen with Spider-Man 4. So, let's see. Thank you.
I hope we get that.
I know. I hope so too. Hopefully, Raymond, your thoughts on the 1 year later, the whole like both side trailer up to reintroducing Kingpin and his wife and the mayor stuff.
I mean, they're still setting things up. There's a lot of setup in this episode, but I do kind of like this setup that the death of Foggy has caused Matt to quit for now. And so that's interesting setup. And there's a lot of repercussions from Foggy's death. I did love that scene when Fisk just walks in that room. He didn't even say nothing. He didn't do nothing. Everybody just got up and got the fuck out. I'm like, bro, he didn't even say. Yes, he didn't even say it or look at them or do anything. And but to your point, Raymond, I think it's going to be interesting. Is Vanessa? She's queen bitch walking around there. She's probably she likes having this control,
or should I say,
She's not going to want Wilson back, but he has to appear legit also as mayor. So maybe she continues taking over that part, and to separate. But yeah, it was great seeing the wife back. They got to put him in jail. They got to keep moving on, and Matt has quit. So
yeah, I agree. Yes, everyone's nailed that conversation. Like Fix does tell Vanessa, look, I'm going through the mayor thing because he got information that he has the pull to like win the election.
We got the signatures. Yeah,
he got the signatures, right?
Yeah.
And so he tells Vanessa, look, I need you to operate this part, for my effort because you've done a good job. Like how many, long since his like attack on Echo from Hawkeye to, that show and all that. So, so that was all interesting. And I love Vanessa. I was very happy they brought back the actress, and because she has great chemistry with Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah. So I didn't want another actress to take on.
She can like hold her own against him. She's not afraid of him.
Yeah.
Not afraid to speak her mind in front of him. It's a very good relationship.
Yeah. And what's funny? I saw the Honest trailer yesterday for the first 2 seasons. It was funny. We got another Marvel couple that is Wilson and Vanessa after Deadpool and Vanessa.
Wilson and Vanessa. Yeah. That's a good point.
I just want to throw that up because it was funny, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the second couple as Wilson, Vanessa." Anyway, Jeff, my boy, TrueKnowledge, the beautiful man. Tell us your thoughts on the 1 year later, up to Kingpin and Vanessa meeting again and talking about the mayor stuff.
Well, I don't want to step on stuff that's already been discussed and talked about and dropped already, but I guess it was just in general refreshing to have see D'Onofrio back as Kingpin again, as played the character again in the episode. This is when he really becomes an important factor in the episode is during this part and in the series, and he just he's a big part of a big causer of the sort of atmosphere that Daredevil has as a series, as a show, the sort of energy or like life that it has when you watch it, the feel of it, it just has like a very gritty gangster like almost, like what you would think of as synonymous to like the gangsta era of like of history. You know what I mean? Like it has that raw feel to it, like from a cinematic standpoint. That Daredevil always has, and this show has it. It has that same that same feeling, and I feel like the scenes with Kingpin really are very menacing almost. D'Onofrio is imposing as the character. He really does a really good job with his body language and his facial expressions and everything, with the character, he just really embodies the Kingpin well. D'Onofrio does, he plays the character very well. And with life, with layers, to where the character is interesting and it's you almost kind of can root for him a little bit, even though he's the villain.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because he has like a personality about him, about his character, his demeanor and his his overall energy, where he, there are aspects of him that are appealing or positive, to other people, basically. But I feel like D'Onofrio's work as Wilson Fisk is underrated, undervalued, in overall in television, in terms of overall, compared to other stuff we've covered, other major characters. D'Onofrio is just really good as the Kingpin, and the shift of the episode from the action to like the regular more drama, style, type TV of Daredevil, comes back in, is there during this part of the episode, and the mayoral campaign angle with Fisk is a very fun and appealing, storyline, to add to this season, to add to this, to the series, and really good, plot device, to have him run and then obviously become mayor. It adds a political flavor to the show. You know what I mean? Which is different, I think. Again, I haven't watched all of the original Daredevil, but I think probably is a different spice to add to the to what's already there. In terms of what kind of TV show Daredevil is. I like the mayoral stuff because I think it just adds more layers, more world building almost kind of, and more world, more access, in the MCU, like to other characters, to other projects with him as an actual mayor, right? As a character, Kingpin, he becomes more valuable almost to the MCU as an actual elected official, even though it's it's fake, right? He becomes more valuable almost, to where you can see him in other projects, other films, things like that. Spider-Man 4, for instance, you know what I'm saying? In a cameo or something like that. That'd be a great fit. To this day, I think that, and I think they will probably use him. I think D'Onofrio will end up being a villain in a Spider-Man film.
Yeah,
Thunderbolts is coming out, and it's in New York. And are they going to mention, is Fisk going to be mayor? Is it going to be?
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense that they would have Julie Louis-Dreyfus'
cool,
character she would know Kingpin. You know what I'm saying? Like because she's
fought Avengers Towers. He must have dealt with the mayor.
She's a criminal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like she would know Kingpin probably. He's a great villain, so I think he'd be great for Spider-Man. In a Spider-Man film. Personally, I love in the comics. I loved Spider-Man and Kingpin.
They're big.
Kingpin was a really good villain for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In the comics, in the comics, there was a lot of storylines, multi issue storylines that were based off of the Kingpin as the villain. I remember as a kid reading, those stories.
He would beat the shit out of Spider-Man. He grabbed
his leg and just grabbed him by his head all the time. And everything, and his hand in the comic books was so big.
Yeah, he got many a beating by Kingpin. Peter did.
In the comic books, Kingpin has huge hands, man. His hands are huge.
Giant. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bear in the
I mean,
comics.
D'Onofrio's pretty big too. Like he's got size, so he did lose weight, but he's a big dude. Works.
He wears a fat suit.
Yeah,
for the show. He's imposing. From a size standpoint, but you can tell he lost weight. He doesn't look quite as kingpin-ish as he did before. You gotta be stocky to be kingpin. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is with the character, right? But so we lost Karen already. She's gone, I guess. No. And she won't be in season 2. They won't bring her back.
They said they'll be back. See, the guys, the showrunner said they're both back in season 2.
I guess. It seems like they already wrote her out of the story of season 1 already.
It's weird.
So I like Deborah Wall because I like True Blood. You know, and she was great. And I thought as Jessica in True Blood. And that was a fun show for me for a couple of years until it kind of went downhill, unfortunately. As some TV shows, as we all the MCU's Bleeding Edge know, can go.
Yeah.
It's
always like that.
It can happen. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. But not so far with Daredevil. And again, if you haven't watched all of Daredevil, you're lacking a little bit when it comes to information and knowledge of Fisk's wife, because I mean in season 1, she's just the art chick. That Fisk is banging or whatever, right. That's all she is. So I guess, watching Daredevil now, and I imagine this will probably continue, really like reveals to you as a fan what you missed by not watching all of Daredevil when you see the gaps in the storyline. You know what I mean? With the whole, with the entirety of the show, the series, with everything that's going on with, that relationship, for instance, right? If you haven't watched all of Daredevil, you have no idea why, they're like having turmoil in their marriage or whatever in their relationship. You know what I'm saying? Hey, one of the assets of the MCU has always been the interconnectivity, right? It's fun. It's a big tool. Great for the MCU for a long time. But it also can hurt for the MCU sometimes as a viewer, that connectivity that you need to have to watch everything all the time. Right. Not everybody watches the Marvel Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah. A lot of homework sometimes.
Disney Plus has shed a lot of subscribers since Phase 4 started. The platform really has. And they need stuff like Daredevil coming out, This is a big hit for Marvel Studios and for Marvel Television. But I'll leave it there.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun from the beginning of Phase 4. That we were getting expansion of existing characters from the phases, Loki, Wanda, Vision, and Falcon with Soldier, and then it went downhill when we were just doing introduction of these new heroes that people didn't know. So it's good that we had Daredevil back because he's a well-known like Marvel character that people know, and obviously he had a show before it's successful. So let's wrap up episode 1 here. After that, we do get the just please tell me what the gaps here for this parts because it was hard for me with this notes here. But so we cut back, I think, with Matt right in his apartment, doing some cooking and whatnot, and he hears briefly, with his senses of Wilson, he hearing Fix again. For the first time,
he's running for mayor. Yeah.
Running for mayor, and he turns his TV on, and he sees that, which now he starts to really be angry about it because he knows that this could be the thing that will put him back with Daredevil, and that's what happened. And then we see, Wilson just saying that I'm running the mayor for New York City. He has plans to launch an vigilante campaign, and I think it's not this episode, but it's next episode where he does mention up Punisher, Spider-Man, and all that. But he's launching that. It's almost like the Accords, basically, but in New York, whatnot.
Yeah.
And so he's promising that he will fix New York, just like he did with first season and the third season. So after that, we see, Wilson doing his campaign thing. We see we get introduction to Daniel Blake, who is played by the late great actor from
Michael Gandolfini, Tim's kid. It looks just like him.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. He's in it. We see Yeah, he's great. I hope he's a character that could stay on. So when we see that, and then after he has this like, was it like debate with another mayor or a candidate one night, he steps outside and the noise is quiet and he sees Matt. Like it was like, oh my god, this is so good.
They're
like,
waiting for him. He's like,
yeah, it's so like shocking, and so it was a great moment. This is where we get the diner scene, which I was not expecting. That I thought that was going to be later in the series, but nope. First episode, we see great. This is the highlight of this episode. These two being together. They're the Marvel's Thor and Loki or Magneto, like Professor X. Like this is the most iconic superhero supervillain rival like we have seen in live action. And just seeing these two actors like talking to each other is really great. We see here that Kingpin, Fix tells Matt that look, I didn't know what happened to Poindexter and like him killing Foggy. I did not break our promise of like hurting your friends. So he was not involved with that. And he does tell Matt that I know you're looking onto me. And he's like, look, I'm just doing it because I'm a lawyer. I'm just double checking, like that sort of stuff. And then the conversation starts kind of be heated when he tells him, look, I'm doing this anti-vigilante thing. If you go back to your old habits, there's going to be consequences. And, Matt gets up and, does his thing and he's like, well, we'll see. And, he say like, I'll be watching. And so those two go their separate way. And like, there's a cool moment where Fix looks out the door, seeing New York City, his like hometown. And so he has this ambition to like change it and stuff like that. And then after that, I think this is where we see the second date with Heather, and Matt learns from like a television that Wilson Fix has won the election. And this is where we see like all the celebration of the victory. Fix reveals, and then Fix reveals to Vanessa that he learns that she cheated on him, which that was kind of interesting to get that reveal here. So Vanessa did cheat on him after they were separated, which makes a lot of sense during the events of Echo and all that. And Hawkeye, and then you see the cool contrast where Fix is up to like his penthouse, right? And then you see the ending shot of Matt staying down to the ground with the red half, which was kind of cool, as you see kind of here in my background. And and then cut to credits, and that's the end of the episode. So let me start with Imran. Let me start with you. What do you thought about this end section here of episode 1? Do you like it? Do you love the diner scene that we got from the trailers now here? What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, the diner scene's phenomenal. Great writing, great performance, great tension. I love how Matt's like, I'm not vigilante anymore. Kingpin's like, I'm not Kingpin anymore. And neither of them believe the other one. And then at the end, the way he's just like, if you continue your vigilante activities, there will be consequences. And Matt's just like, well, I guess we understand each other. I'll see you later. But this
I love that part so much.
It's so good. Just great. So well written and performed. And speaking of hands, you see they focus on his giant hands a lot on the thing. And he's such a big dude. And the mug looks tiny next to Murdoch's mug. But that was so good. And for the whole episode to have this whole mayor thing and end and Fisk is mayor and won already, it's moving at a really good pace. And this whole mayor thing, tell me this doesn't sound familiar. A populist dude who's got a shady criminal past ends up winning and elected. What does that sound like? Let me tell you, they're doing
Every
this.
president.
They're doing this on purpose, using New York like a microcosm. Because I watched this and then I turned it off, and Trump was doing his like address to the thing, and it was just like watching the scene with the crowd praising Wilson Fisk. They were doing the same thing to him. I was like, oh my God, they nailed it. They nailed it. It was exactly the same thing. But yeah, he's mayor now. It's gonna be great. And the last shot, fantastic. With the foreshadowing of the red, he's gonna have to come out of retirement, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I want. No offense, Kingpin. I know you're my favorite villain, but I don't want you to be running my city. That's gonna be scary. And by the way, folks, Penguin run for mayor too. Okay, just let you know. Penguin from Batman has run for mayor, and like
That's true.
And no doubt, Colin Farrell will run for mayor if they ever do that in the Batman universe. Anyway, Time Master, my master, tell me your thoughts on the end sequence in the diner, sir. Go ahead.
I do have a question. What is up? There's clips that happen in between, like there's fillers, and they're from that BB chick.
Yeah, the BB Street interviews.
Yeah, what am I missing from that? And they're pushing that out a lot.
I feel like that's just letting us know what the city is thinking.
Yeah,
you know, it gives us a taste of what the town thinks. The same way when we hear Matt hearing how everyone loves Fisk, and you get a great sense of what the people are thinking. And so she represents the people.
I was just like wondering because they ended up bringing her in eventually. I'm like, what the hell? What am I missing here? But
so, Raymond, I understand where you're coming from. So there's two things. It's like RoboCop. It's like this, like not like similar to RoboCop. It's more like seeing like the news and the like what's going on in the world. Something like it. It's not like satire like RoboCop was. Yeah. But also, this is an introduction to a major character that's related to a first season Daredevil character named Ben Urich. This is the niece of Ben Urich.
And Fisk killed Ben Urich with his bare hands.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, later on, he goes, "Oh, I knew your uncle." He goes, "I knew, you killed her uncle, you motherfucker."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no wonder when they meet, he's like, "I knew him."
Oh, you knew him. Yeah, you knew him.
Yeah. So, that's why it's a big deal. It's this continuation of a character we know from previously from Netflix, and it's being like.
But it's like social media news. It's very contemporary. You know, they're trying to update it.
Yeah, very contemporary. I thought they did a good job with that actually, because sometimes
it could be annoying, right? It could have been annoying.
Yeah.
But I think it just tells us what the people think.
Exactly.
Got you. Okay, I'm up to speed now. That conversation Kingpin and Daredevil were having was pretty intense. I like that a lot. The coffee in the cafe, whatever, and it's a nice setting. It's a classic kind of move and mood because it sets a really nice mood. And then the fact that they're just kind of like just going back and forth. Kingpin with his campaign that he wants to run, and Matt's just like he just gets up, puts out his stick, and basically says, "You're on, bitch," and just walks away. Basically, I love that so much. And then the fact that that the way that Matt Murdock found out with his super hearing. And to me that happened way too fast. The fact that he won, because he literally was talking to him like that same day.
Yeah, we saw him a short debate. I don't know how long he'd been running, and then it was just done.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was way too fast. But then again, he's Kingpin. He's got the resources. He's got the money, or more like his wife at this point.
Yeah.
What I don't want to see is Vanessa becoming the Kingpin. Because that's what it's starting to look like, and I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. But I mean, Disney has been playing that woman power card for a little too long, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever, but don't do that. It's just stop it. And the ending, like you said, very very epic. It really like you guys were mentioning, foreshadowing him coming out of retirement. So I'm really digging that.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that. I think there's going to be more conflict with this relationship. Like, the fact that like Fix has put Vanessa into his criminal empire, he made a huge mistake now, because now she's like running it, and like people will probably join her, like similar to like the Penguin, basically, where like Chris Mai's character had her side of the mafia, and then the other half will be with Kingpin.
I do love when he tells her, like, "I know you've been stepping out on me." She goes, "I know about Adam," and the first thing she says goes, "Please don't kill him." That's the first. That's the whole. Yeah. And he's like, "I won't. I promise." And I'm like, Adam is so dead. There's no way that dude's surviving.
Yeah, no, he's gonna die towards the end of this series. I bet.
Just
Um,
kill him.
no, please don't kill him. He's handsome. I love him. He's my toy for every day after you left. Anyway, Jeff, your thoughts on the final sequence of episode 1?
It's very very consistent with the rest of the episode in terms of the quality, and the connection, the connectivity to the sort of like high level drama, that you've always gotten from Netflix, Daredevil, right, in the past. That along with the the action and the fighting and the hand to hand and all that, the tilt towards the just Matt Murdock, and then the mayoral campaign of Fisk, as the rest of the episode is a good is a good deal. It's a good story. Good, it works out well for the episode. The use of Matt's senses, with hearing and things like that, and connecting it to Kingpin and the news and him winning the mayor and all that, like the radio and all that kind of stuff, is very inventive. It's good for the show, I think, to pay attention to those parts of his character, like we've already mentioned in the past. But it was obvious that that Kingpin would win the mayoral race, right? I mean, so that was like a no-brainer. And I found that scene where they met in the diner to be very dramatic and very compelling. They're great together on screen. Those two actors together playing those characters. They have really good chemistry that they've developed, over multiple years, right? A long time. And I felt like they've always like worked well, together on screen as their characters. They're very effective, and it's very good for the story whenever you see them begrudgingly almost being like quasi friends almost. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fun. It's it's entertaining. It's mysterious. It's healthy, for the show. I like that angle, that aspect of their dynamic or their relationship where they, can at times almost get along. You know what I mean? Again, because of Fisk's likability at times. I think, that Matt very much is the type of person where it's possible that he could consider giving Kingpin a chance as mayor, later on in the series down the road. He has that sort of Catholic background, with forgiveness, and what I mean. He's very optimistic, kind of person, for the most part, about life and about people. So you never know. He could change his disposition towards Kingpin. He's that type of character. But I thought the episode overall was great, and they wrapped it up well. The tension of the episode was there. That dreading, sort of Daredevil sort of tension was really there all the way through. And I thought that it was a good ending, having Fisk just say, I love New York, and then have it go to black, right? It worked out well. So yeah, that's it. Episode 1, okay, USA.
That's good. Saber, your thoughts on the final section of episode 1, sir?
Mm-hmm. All right, so the conclusion of the episode is when we get the great Fisk Matt Murdock sequence, and we get the date with the new love interest. And that whole conversation with Fisk is fantastic. Him and the Kingpin, really fun. Him basically saying, I had nothing to do with Foggy's murder. I'm doing an anti-vigilante campaign for my winning mayor and all this kind of stuff. there's no consequences if you become Daredevil again. Why did you not stop being Daredevil and all this kind of stuff? And you just have that really great, ominous, like, talk between the two, because from the previous series, we know that he knows who Matt is and that he is the vigilante Daredevil. And, Daredevil knows who Whisker Fisk really is. He's the kingpin, all that kind of good stuff. So I think it's a really solid, kind of ending. I think it's unnecessary to have the whole love story a little bit there. But the fact that we get that, like, little sequence where he's, like, able to hear that Fisk has won, with his, auto-adapted ears because of his vision loss. I think that's really cool. But that whole conversation with him and Fisk is fantastic. I absolutely love that sequence. I think it was really well done, and I thought it was a really great kind of, like, reintroducing the characters to each other in that very first episode. So I thought they did a really, great job there. But then, like, ending it with him and his wife going to therapy, I think was absolutely hilarious. I just thought it was like, what is this? What's this, drama day 101 here? And have them go and then find out that he knew that, she had cheated on him. It's like, okay, that's really a way to get the episode ending. Okay, like, where's that gonna play out in the next episode? A little bit there, that kind of, like, little fighting. Other than that, like, I thought that the Fisk and Daredevil sequence was the best part about the ending. That other stuff I could care less about, but that great Fisk and Murdoch was fantastic. I would have loved if it had ended with that. So overall, I think that the ending is pretty decent. And, I think it gets to a new certain point of bringing in that whole drama aspect of what the original series brought in, with that kind of climactic ending of, Fisk saying that he knew that she cheated. So overall, not too bad and shabby of an ending for this first episode.
Yeah, thank you, Saber. Yeah, very curious what you're gonna do with that. All right, so let's move on to episode 2. Get into that. There's it's a very much shorter episode. So this episode 2, titled Optics, a much more, like, slow episode, not a very, like, action-packed one like last episode. Well, I mean, like, it doesn't have an action-packed beginning, but, like, we see here now, like, the fallout of Wilson winning for the New York City mayor, and despite the many detractors, regardless of either or not Fisk is a changed man, as, like, we're going to see in this episode, particularly with the commissioner, he still harbors the bitter sentiment towards the superhero stuff, right? Particularly with Daredevil, and he tells that he is going to do the anti-vigilante thing. Like, no costume freak is not going to be, it's going to uphold the law, like the Punisher he brought up and Spider-Man, which I was kind of surprised he did that. So that was kind of cool, and in the same time, elsewhere, during the Fisk victory lap on New Year's Eve. By the way, in episode 2, I like these first episodes. It is kind of shocking that how quickly he has won the election, and then simultaneously
exactly
this is a New Year's Eve, which is funny. Like, I was like, wait a minute, where
it must jump ahead. Like, when he won, that's got to be like November, right? And then the next episode starts a month or two later.
Is it actually November? Or are we just throwing out random months now?
I don't even know what year it is. It's supposed to be, to tell you the truth.
It was November or something.
Yeah. I think we know that. I don't know. Because Captain America New Brave New World. I'm sorry, not New World Order, but Brave New World stated that it's in 2027. So I think this could be mid 2026 through 2027.
This is New Year's 2027 we are seeing.
Yeah, so
probably right.
that could be the timeline, right? So I mean, again, just a little funny note where I'm like, oh, New Year's Eve, but it's a funny thing. I just caught. I was like, oh, really? But anyway, we cut to like a train, New York train station. We see the bystander named Hector Elia. This is
Hector Ayala.
Yeah. Ayala, thank you. Who is White Tiger. And if you didn't see episode 1, the beginning, the character Cherry and his partner Kim were watching the television. You saw briefly White Tiger being of a thug in the television, and so here, this character White Tiger witnessed a man beaten by two thugs in the subway. He does intervene, and he actually dispatched the criminals with one accidentally jumping right in front of the movie train, which was kind of crazy, and then the other pulls a gun on Hector and identifying himself as a police officer, revealing that what Hector was just preventing was just a mugging. It was a police brutality. So after that, the NYPD, especially its crook members, corrupt, cops, they don't take too kindly to cop killers, unfortunately. And so we meet up again with Matt here, and he's talking to like a client about one of her, I think, members being in trouble. But then he hears what's going on with Hector. He's getting being into submission with the cops here, and so against the advisory of his firm partner, McDuffie, Murdoch decides to act as Hector's legal counsel for free of charge. Another example of Matt trying to defend the innocent, and so that's where we're at. So he's gonna take over the case for Hector and defend him. So let me stop there. Let me start with Jeff. What are your thoughts on this beginning part of episode 2 up to I say Matt talking to his friend McDuffie about taking the case?
Well, that opening death with the trade was like fucking a jolt, man. You know what I'm saying? Very graphic. You know what I mean? Serious like TVMA type shit. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not Disney approved. Very, very just like episode 1, brings a level of brutality, and gritty kind of grimy sort of violence. You know what I'm saying? Like that Daredevil is known for having. You know what I mean? In the shows, in the TV series, and that initial scene with the guy that's White Tiger is very much like that. All the fighting, all the hand-to-hand of the violence in Daredevil is very like graphic, a lot of times. And it doesn't really matter whether Matt's involved or not. It's usually pretty like R-rated. And it was kind of a little bit strange to me that because of Fisk, the cops will be using tactics like that. It seemed a little bit stupid to me. I won't lie. Pretending to mug somebody just to fucking arrest other people, like a hero for helping out. I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out across the span of the series. These, anti-vigilante, strategies and laws and policies and whatnot, right? But obviously that was supposed to be a symbolism of that, right? That opening, section is the influence of Fisk on the police department and how they're going about policing. And I just thought that was, I don't know, a little bit interesting, just kind of, different that they went with that direction to have that guy get arrested like that for doing the right, what is the right thing, essentially. I don't know how I felt about that story-wise, but, the guy that is the investigative guy, for Matt on the show is cool. I like him. Good secondary character, that they obviously carried over from the original show. And the other attorney that Murdoch is partnered with now is okay. I like her. You see her some in the beginning of the episode. And all the Fisk as mayor stuff is great. It all works. So the bit of it that we get in the beginning of this episode is there, and it's all good. It's all it's all enjoyable. I think from a watching fan viewer standpoint. Episode 2 starts off pretty well, and it keeps you hooked in. I thought that the addition of the character that is White Tiger is a good addition to the show. Even though he's not White Tiger, he's in prison now. But either way, still interesting, still cool. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I was kind of shocked we didn't see him in costume for the first time.
Oh, and I don't know. I'm whatever about Daredevil's new girlfriend or whatever that he met through the other lawyer or whatever. I guess she's going to be a main secondary character for the show or whatever. But like she's kind of whatever to me. You know what I mean? Like like I could take it or leave it, kind of. I don't know, like. Matt usually bangs a lot hotter chicks than that,
Well, he could pull numbers, Matt Murdock. Murdock and Peter Parker, if you notice, are two characters who always pull these hot girls. I don't know how they do it. Both of them.
Yeah, Matt Murdock is like like getting a lot of pussy type motherfucker. Like that's what he's about.
He think about it. Did he sleep with Jessica Jones? He slept with Elektra. He banged Karen.
He banged Jessica Jones too?
I think. No, She-Hulk. No, that was Luke Cage.
Yeah,
but he's banged like every female character on the Daredevil.
That's true.
I was banged.
Hilarious that he banged his psychiatrist or whatever.
Well, she's not his shrink though. She's just.
I would bang Jessica Jones.
Funny.
That actress is Kristen Ritter is hot, is fucking fine as fuck, bro. I hope they bring her back to the MCU from the Netflix series.
They should
because she's one of the characters that I would hope that they would bring back. Along with Daredevil. And there's been rumors for years that they will eventually, along with Luke Cage. And even though I didn't watch Luke Cage, I did watch the first season of Jessica Jones, and I thought it was actually pretty good. It was decent, and she plays the character well. But yeah, that section of Daredevil episode 2 is it's very solid.
Awesome. Imran, let me ask you about the beginning of this episode. What you thought about the aftermath of episode 1 up to Matt talking to his firm partner about taking the case for Hector. Go ahead, sir.
It's a shocking scene, and the some of the green screen bugged me though. Like when the train went behind him, it was kind of like obviously green screen. But White Tiger and finding his costume, and the fact that Matt, a vigilante, is now defending a vigilante is super interesting. Like that's such a great idea. But do you know the saddest thing about this? Did you hear about the actor who plays Hector Ayala?
Yes, he passed away with cancer. Yeah, I was going to say
late 2023, just after shooting this show. It's just so sad he doesn't get to watch it. But they shot this such a long time ago. But yeah, no, now we're getting into the procedural, the case, a case he has for the season that maybe will continue. It's becoming a real like episodic TV show, and the story's getting started. So yeah, I love the beginning of it. That was solid.
Yeah, very sad he passed away. I hope he's in this series. I hope so.
I think he's in it a bunch. So
yeah,
we'll see him in costume.
Yeah, hopefully he's in the show. Because the trailers, as I mentioned before, we saw the dinner. We also saw bits of the White Tiger stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cyber, your thoughts on the beginning up to the beginning of the aftermath of Wilson winning and then Matt taking over the case for Hector.
So this episode basically, kind of it goes back to that, I feel, formulaic formula of the previous Daredevil series, where it has basically kind of like an incident that leads to Matt having to be a lawyer type. And so, basically have that sequence at the very beginning with the train and, the guy that's supposedly White Tiger, who's played by that actor who unfortunately passed away. That scene, unlike Jeff, it did not make me jump. I was kind of like, well, that was close. I was just kind of like, okay, the train might have hit him. Oh, well, if it did it, it did it. If it did, it did. I'm like, I expected a little bit more blood splatter, a little more, maybe. But it just wasn't bloody enough for me. But anyways, it was, your classic, I feel like any of those like kind of drama like shows, those like
Law and Order, your procedurals.
Yeah. Or even shows like Matlock or a Diagnosis Murder or anything like that, where there's like a thing that happens at the beginning and then they get into the case. It's kind of, that's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah.
And so we have like the introduction of Matt meeting, you know, the White Tiger. I'm going to be his representation. I thought that was kind of interesting that, you know, he was going to do it pro bono for him and everything and stuff like that too, which to me just like, I mean, Matt, are you really that well off that you're able to keep taking all these pro bono offers, you know? Because how they kind of betray him in this versus like the movie or in the comics, you know, he doesn't seem like he's very well off, but somehow he is, which I find kind of interesting. So it's kind of cracks me up every time he takes a case pro bono. It kind of, it's funny. But I think that, you know, kind of, you know, to this point, we don't realize that this gentleman is White Tiger yet. We haven't seen the costume and everything. But to this point, we have a great kind of like thought process, like, who is this guy? Like, he's supposed to be ex-military, and definitely he doesn't look like he's in the greatest shape or anything like that. So it's kind of like it gets you wondering, like, oh, who, like, where is this going? Who is this guy? What's he gonna do? You know? So I think he does a really good job of starting the episode off, giving us that great kind of intro, and really gets us set into that kind of legalized drama feel. So I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, as we see before, I think this is the start of like the procedural cases for Matt to do, because that was initially what the show was supposed to be, right? Before it kind of rehole during the strike, right? Time Master, sir, what you thought about the beginning, seeing the aftermath of Mr. Kingpin himself winning, and then
Sir, Raven is not a Time Lord or Time Master of any kind. He's from Booze and Chill.
No,
I smell the jelly from all the way over here, bro.
Yeah, he's jealous that you're the Time Master.
Raven is Booze and Chill, sir. He's not time orientated.
Okay, Raymond, aka Time Master / Mr. Booze and Chill. What you thought about the beginning up to Matt taking the case for Hector? Go ahead.
I don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the White Tiger character, but in the very, very, like, as soon as the episode starts, the guy is on the phone. He speaks Spanish. I speak Spanish. I'm Mexican that way, and I made the connection after that, because he's like, dije que tenía que hacer unas cosas and I don't know what. And I'm like, okay, and then the White Tiger vigilante life, double life, missing out on everything makes sense.
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't speak Spanish, he said that he had stuff to do and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so he walks down the stairs into the subway and sees those two what we think is thugs, and then we soon find out that they're not. And then Jeff brought up a good point of how Kingpin really, well, not Kingpin, but yeah, you see Kingpin's just power already showing in that particular scene, because how he says that he has control over the cops already. Like everything's moving very, very quickly, which, like, I kind of don't mind. Like they're doing it the right way. And the fact that Matt took his case for free, like Cyber mentioned, but the fact that he took it is because Matt, aka Daredevil, is technically a human lie detector machine. He was kind of able to tell that, you know, he was confused, but he knows that he did something right, or he can sense off him and hear him technically that he's not lying, that he knows he did something right, and that there's something fucked up going on. And well, on account of Kingpin being mayor, you know, Matt's already thinking like, yeah, you know what, maybe, yeah, he's right. Like, he's mayor. This is not this is fucked up. Something's up. So he kind of had to take the case for free, apparently. And yet Cyber does make a good point. Like, how well is Matt to be able to just do this? But then it occurred to me, how we were like going down his body count. I think he just banged the right people.
Possibly.
Right?
You got sugar mamas everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Kristen McDuffie, because he's got the new place. This was Nelson and McDuffie, or Murdoch and McDuffie.
I think it's She-Hulk, honestly, dude.
No, it should be Jen Walters.
And because if she doesn't got the money, all she's got to do is call up the cousin.
Yeah.
Yo, Hulk.
Yeah. Hook a cuz up.
Oh man, that's what I think.
Thank you, Raymond. That was very funny. Yeah, I mean, he's already experienced lawyer. I mean, with what 10 years already doing it, since first season. So, and plus with help with She-Hulk and like we never really get a knowledge of She-Hulk here in this series, so we don't know what happened with that relationship too. So yeah, so I think this is experience of 10 years of being a lawyer and all that.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly, but we'll see. Yeah, but he had experience probably and also bad as well because he has dated with a lot of people. So, and especially Elektra. Let's not forget he also dated an assassin chick. Okay, so great job, guys. So, meanwhile, what we see, Matt doing the Hector case, we also see Fix like doing. By the way, I love the episode optics. That's the thing that Kingpin is doing. He's trying to improve his optics in his first days of office, while he's really frustrated with this. So we see how like he is like his first days, he's trying to like try and improve his image by like trying to like doing like a lot of like House of Cards kind of movement, like while he's beginning to try to make himself a champion of the people, such as like getting the traffic moving by ordering a hole plugged up ASAP, as his current administration hasn't been without his bumps. At the same time, his campaign manager has also told Fist that despite his wife being inside with him, she is a little concerned that she's not being side in public as the new mayor as often it should be. So this is why they're doing the therapy to like improve that, and so she'll be the size of listen moving forward, and and be kind of like joined together as a couple, right? And then the same time after that, trying to like improve the former Kingpin's public image, the Daniel Blake person brings the freelance reporter named BB Eric, the niece, to like interview Kingpin here. And obviously Kingpin doesn't know who she is yet, and she doesn't know yet that that Eric niece is there, not knowing that she murdered her uncle many 10 years actually to this point. So yeah, so that's a big thing. And then after that, I'll just end it right here. We got another problem he has to face was the commissioner, because of the poor condition he's facing. We see that he knows Fix, and like he tried to resign from the position as commissioner, but Kingpin almost blackmail him literally to either choose the down pension, and then like the minimal like overtime because of the secret child he has. And he decided to stay as commissioner. So let me stop there. So let me start with Cyber. Let me start with you, Cyber. What you thought about the whole Wilson Fix campaign? Him, trying to get maybe therapy with Vanessa, and then trying to stop the commissioner from resigning, and then having that interview with the chick, the niece for Eric,
the baby.
Yeah, the baby, and then of course the whole like beginning part of the road thing. Go ahead.
In all honesty, this portion just bored me.
Oh yeah.
I think that it was a lot of too much like information all at once. Them trying to fit all that into that one episode. I think that they should have spread it out a little bit between this episode and another episode about the whole Fist thing, this, the therapy and all that kind of stuff. Just they should have just focused on the whole White Tiger situation, that whole incident there, and really should have focused on that. And so I kind of, as I was watching it, I kind of zoned out a little bit because it just got a little too slow for me. And I was like expecting a little bit more out of it, especially because, with how solid the first episode had some great action in it. And, we had definitely some interesting kind of like slow moments in the first episode, but they didn't seem too slow. So I was really shocked at like kind of how they really kind of drew it out here with this kind of information stuff, really went for that procedural feel and like with Law and Order and stuff like that, which I can't stand Law and Order. I'm going to throw that out there to everybody out there. I don't care. I cannot stand Law and Order. I think it's one of the most boringest shows I've ever fucking seen. It bores the hell out of me because it's
come on, Cyber. Give Law and Order some love, baby.
If they threw in some titties, it's a fucking I'd be more into it. But
the 90s, baby.
Even now, sir, it's still that same fucking
love.
Still
making it. It's the same show over and over again.
It's the same goddamn thing over and over again. It's the most least interesting fucking thing I've ever seen. So that kind of storyline kind of bores me. So this section here kind of was like, I wasn't really into it too badly, and it's too bad because I was really into it up to that point, and getting into the whole White Tiger thing and stuff like that, and kind of into his case and everything, and then all of a sudden it just kind of went and just got really slow for me. So other than that, I thought it wasn't horrible, but I felt it could have been a little more faster paced.
No, I agree. No. Jeff, this is the Kingpin stuff. What you thought about Kingpin's first days in the office, him meeting with Eric's niece, and then the end point is him blackmailing the commissioner and all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Cyber makes a good point. Regardless of his take on or his enjoyment of the style or the fashion of sort of the direction of episode 2. It is very serialistic, and what I wanted to point out was that they just really overall do so much of a better job handling the legal aspect, the court aspect of the that aspect of the Daredevil television series compared to like She-Hulk, how they did it. It's night and day. In the Netflix series, you could see you could see the attention that's paid to the aspects of the courtroom, legal matters. You know what I mean? Like it's an important aspect of Matt Murdock's general character. You know what I mean? And the overall arc of the show, right? Is involves the firm. You know what I mean? And the legal system and all that. And the relationships that Matt has with the police and with media and yada yada yada, right? But still very enjoyable. Still, I think again, still, on the high end of watchable television. This section of episode 2, overall episode 2, there's no action really. It's not an action packed episode of Daredevil, but hey, unfortunately, that is Daredevil. Like you're gonna have your sort of more dialogue instilled, story building, you know what I mean? Sort of arc building sort of episodes like this, right? Where you're introducing characters, you're introducing new aspects of the plot, you know what I mean? And you kind of shift away from the action. You don't see Daredevil in the episode, right? And that puts the show in a vulnerable spot in a way to, take him away from the costume and away from him being an actual, vigilante, as Fisk, likes to use the word, right? A lot. That they made that a buzzword in his mayoral campaign and his mayor, shit or whatever, that vigilante deal. And it works, it works for the episode. And all the mayor stuff, works well for the show. It's very entertaining. It works well for the dynamic of Matt versus Kingpin, Daredevil versus Kingpin. To have Kingpin serving as mayor with his sort of mentality and his sort of unorthodox sort of street level policies, of this nature. I think overall, this whole him being a mayor thing is good for the MCU, like I already said. And this whole anti-vigilante thing will be a theme that they'll probably use and carry on in the MCU in some form or fashion, beyond Daredevil, I would imagine, right? Whether it's, another political figure in the MCU uniting with Wilson Fisk and agreeing with the policies or something like that. I imagine
that's Sokovia Accords.
They'll keep it. I have a feeling they'll keep it around. That they're Marvel Studios as well. Knowing that that connectivity aspect of the MCU is still very valuable and important. The availability to be able to take these stories and shift them and move these characters over to other properties, right? Bring plot lines and story concepts over and carry them over into other projects. It's still something they want to do, I think, and have around is that consistency, right? Regardless of Disney Plus, movie wise, whatever. So, very, there's this Daredevil series so far, episode 1 and 2, very much in this segment, it just has some really interesting, styles of shooting. Cinematography is different for Daredevil, kind of. They made some changes, and again, BB News, Raymond. I love it. It's a good. It adds a lot to episode 2. The excerpts to the street interviews and all that. It gives a really interesting, kind of old fashioned feel to the show, which I enjoy. And hey, Charlie, is it Charlie Murphy? It's not. Yeah, Charlie Murphy. He's good as Matt Murdock.
Charlie
in the
Cox.
episode. Charlie Cox. I'm sorry.
How you gonna forget Cox? How you gonna forget the Cox?
Fuck me, sir. Fuck me
with Cox.
Fuck me with a cock, sir. A big black one for that slip up. I'm serious. There should be an MCU's Bleeding Edge suck a big black dick penalty that you should have to deal with or whatever, as a penalty.
You got to drink the P Diddy juice.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta taste the BBC. You gotta taste the pain, baby. When you fuck up with the words. There you go.
Thank you, Jeff, for your pity juice addiction. I guess I don't know. Anyway. So, Raymond, your thoughts on the Kingpin storyline right here with the commissioner, the meeting of the reporter, and then trying to get the therapy with his wife and all that. Go ahead.
The BBC,
yeah.
BBC. Cyber and Jeff were bringing up a lot the story being too filled up with too much information, and then it's also going at a very fast pace. So it's a little overwhelming. But like I was saying in the beginning, since the first episode, that the show just started off in a fast pace, which I get because it's called Daredevil Born Again. So in order for Daredevil to be born again, some shit has to happen. And also, I think we might have failed to mention this one. In the first episode, Matt was first Daredevil was provoked with the death of his best friend. And then he got provoked again when in the courtroom scene when they sentenced Bullseye just life in prison. And if you paid attention to Matt Murdock when he was sitting down in the with everybody else, he was like shaking so bad. Like he was super pissed off. Like he was not happy with the fact that he got live. Like you know that he wanted to like just kill him off right there and then.
Yeah.
So that already like that's already it's being shown in episode 2, and as well as this the Kingpin. He also got not as badly provoked as Matt and Daredevil did, but he got the whole news about Vanessa cheating on him. So we got the both of these main characters already ticked the fuck off for episode 2, and it's kind of already like it's building up. Like Jeff was saying, it's something's building up, and the fact that they're giving so much information super quickly, like I'm just like I'm assuming and hoping that there's going to be some sort of something big that's happening, whether it being this new White Tiger character that they added, and or something else, or we might get Punisher coming in a lot more faster than we thought. But it's going super fast again with a lot of information just being thrown at you because they're rushing for something. Like it's kind of like when I talk about pretty much anything that I like and I'm excited about, I completely go over everything super fast because I want to get to the ending because it's super good, and I think that's what's going on with the show. I think.
No, I agree. I had to agree with Cyber and Jeff. Like, there's so much in this second episode, and it's like you could tell that they're trying to fit the reshoots and the supposed storyline they have for this new one. I hope they get it right, because it's like it's kind of tough to review these 2 episodes with so much story pack they have here, which is crazy. Imran, what are your thoughts on the Kingpin storyline, sir, with the commissioner and all that?
I mean, I kind of agree too. There's a lot of plot lines. Like I was thinking about, there's like an A plot, but then there's a B plot and a C plot and a D plot and an E plot, and it's a lot going on. And Raymond, to your point, there's even another the Punisher, Frank Bernthal, is going to be in there. There's another bad guy, Muse, that's also a big part of this season. So you may have heard in the background, someone was like, there's these murals going up all over the city. That's something Muse does. And I think it's that kid who goes to visit the girlfriend therapist with the book, who's like, I need help. Are you taking on clients? And she gives him his email. I think that kid is going to be Muse. So
do we get to see the email?
No. She just wrote it down in the book.
Oh, okay. Because I would have figured they would have like Easter egged it somewhere in there or something.
Yeah, no. So and then the fact that Matt's girlfriend is now the Kingpin's therapist is also very convenient. It all ties it all together.
Good point, Imran. It's very interesting that they're going to that they went in that direction. That could really that could be something that sticks around for a while.
And I don't know if Wilson Fisk knows that Matt is dating her, because he sent his employee to her book show, to the book show, but that she didn't talk about Matt Murdock. He wasn't there, so does he know? That's how he picked.
Yeah, that's true. It was more like for her book signing, so there was no mention of Matt.
Yeah, there's a lot of creepy vibes going on in that book signing.
Oh yeah. That's why I think that kid is definitely Muse. But yeah, there's a lot of plots. And you guys, we do get some action coming up in this next segment, so at least it ends with a fucking dope action scene, right? Yeah.
Aaron, thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for bringing up the kid for the books. If anyone haven't seen Wednesday, the TV show,
that's that kid.
Yeah, that's that kid. I don't want to.
Who does he play?
Hunter Doohan. He didn't have a name yet, but I think he's gonna be Muse. I think.
He could be Muse. Raymond, if you want to see Wednesday, he plays like a love interest for Wednesday. I don't want to spoil because there's a lot of twists and turns with his character in that show.
No, I saw Wednesday. I just can't remember who he played.
Oh,
the
wannabe boyfriend guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me. I'm sorry. Let me just do it quickly for you, Raymond. Tyler. That's his name. That's the character's name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's that character. Anyway, so thank you guys for your thoughts. Let's now get into the finale here for episode 2. So the trial of Hector, it gets kind of complicated after, you know, the reveal of him as the White Tiger, and Matt is trying his best to kind of try to figure out what was the best course of action next. And he talks to, you know, his new girlfriend about, you know, try to like reset their date because because his case is taking up the time, and then also Heather had to reschedule as well for the date because her next therapy session she has Wilson Fix and Vanessa, and that's the last time we kind of see those two characters, Vanessa and Fix, with the therapy session, because as we talked before with the Wilson storyline, the campaign manager is talking to Fix to like fix that because she wants Vanessa to be besides Fix to kind of like provoke the strong couple relationship, but because the events of, you know, Echo, he's been out of the picture, and that kind of put the strained relationship with Vanessa. So that's kind of taken care of. So then after that, you know, we get back to, you know, with Matt able to track down the key witness in Hector case, the one in the train station. But unfortunately for him, Matt knows that some of the corrupt cops are like involved with the case and also show up to the doorstep of the witness here. And curiously enough, I saw a small Easter egg. One of them has a tattoo of the Punisher logo.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's like a fan club or these guys just adopted his tactics and his.
Yeah, so that was pretty
fan club.
It's the Punisher. I'm in the fan club. See?
Yeah, the Punisher has a
gonna
fan
beat you
club
down
now. Yeah, so that was very funny. And then you see here they kind of do like a scuffle and like kind of pursue Matt to like really force him to let his devil out again. And this is where we lead into a really brutal, like yet like awkward fight scene. Like Matt fighting with them. He almost break with one of their arms here. It was incredible. And then like he sees like the aftermath, he grabs his like broken glass, and then he screams out, and then we cut to credits and get this like awesome song from some band here. So that's the end of episode 2 here. So let me start with you, Imran. What you thought about the end sequence here? You love it? You love the action scene? Go ahead.
So I was a little confused about, you guys were saying the cops are bad because of Fisk, but I thought they were just, there's like some corrupt cops in there because the girl mentions to him, you don't have the cops. The commissioner hates him, right? Commissioner's like, I'm resigning. I don't want you to be, until he blackmails him. So he didn't have the cops. So I think it's just, they're just taking on bad, corrupt cops. But I love this part because Matt is taking the beating. And then he's like, you don't want to do this. Don't make me do this. It's that moment. It's like, don't make me do this. You're not. So does he kill those two cops? Because that's going to be an awkward conversation if they wake up.
No, he didn't kill him.
I think they're subdued, but in a hard way.
So he snaps the one dude's arm. The other guy throws, and you see him like land on his neck. And I heard a snap because otherwise, if they're not dead, they're gonna be like, "How did this blind guy just beat the shit out of us?"
He beat them to like a critical level of injury. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but like they're not dead.
They weren't moving. But the sound mix on that. Remember, his blood starts dripping, and you just hear the drop hit the floor, kind of like he would hear it. It's so good. And it's all about the darkness inside both of these men. Fisk said it last episode, talking about their violent natures, right? He's like, it's very hard to deal with our violent natures. They're both essentially the same. They have the same darkness inside them.
They're two sides of the same coin. They are.
Yeah. It's like a Harvey Dent thing. And Matt will do the right thing, but he has this pain, this guilt, this darkness in him that is just getting poked
This
at. This devil is coming out. So all very good stuff. Because I was like, fuck, bro. Did you just kill two cops? Now you're a cop killer. The fuck?
Hells yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. That was incredible. Like him screaming was like very shocking. And I don't know if those two cops survive, but we'll see in next episode. And plus he has a good alibi. They will not believe that a blind man beat them up.
Right.
Like,
who's gonna buy that?
Exactly. Yeah. So like he actually has the best excuse of any superhero. It's like, I'm a blind man. How the hell am I deal with this guy? You know. Anyway, Raven, your thoughts on the final section of episode 2? You love it, hate it? What you thought?
I what I did like was that conversation that Fisk was having with, I'm assuming was the commissioner.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
I like that conversation because the guy just pretty much told him off, and he left off. What did he say? Thug is always a thug.
Yep.
And as he walked away, Fisk had the most thuggish smile on his face. I'm like, that is straight up gangster.
Yeah.
But and then at the funeral, like, dude, it was perfect. It was a perfect mafia like scene there.
Yeah.
That was just awesome. That and the one where he was talking to Matt. Those two conversations are just excellent. No action, just powerful words and awesome writing. I love that shit. And as far as the ending fight was just super sick. The fact that that he took the beating and he gave him the warning, bro.
Yeah.
Like don't make me do this. So that was great. The fact that he just freaking held his shit, took the beating, and at the very last second, and I loved how they did it too. It's like you just hear that trigger click, and boom, he goes right out and basically almost kills these guys. Maybe he did, we're not sure, but like Andre said, it's the perfect alibi. Even if he did it, no one's gonna believe him.
Yeah.
And that yell at the end, like, it was good. I liked it. I loved it. And the song, by the way, was "Get Free" by the Vines. Love that shit.
A good song.
It's a good song. I love the fact that they played that after that, especially after that yell. It was so good.
Music choices are so good on this show.
Yes.
Yeah. I love how Catholic undertones those songs are.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And by the way, man, not only the Kingpin is a mofo mafia person, I love how he's eating cheesesteak while he's like blackmailing the commissioner too.
Like, you like sandwiches, Commissioner. Let me tell you about sandwiches. And then I love at the end he goes, the sandwich was disgusting.
How dare you?
Yes, dude. I love that.
That was perfect. That made me like laugh so hard.
It's the Sopranos almost. I really hope after watching The Penguin that we were going to see a little bit of that in this show. And I'm starting to see a little bit of that in the show, which I'm
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons I love The Penguin, because they had that like dark humor.
It was Sopranos, a straight up Sopranos.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff, your thoughts on the final section of episode 2, sir?
Well, that scream from Matt was a great ending. It just very much is a capitulation to that tie-in to the overarching dread or like violent tension that the show a lot of times tends to have. You know what I mean? It's a lot of its scenes, especially the ones with Kingpin in them, right? There's an overarching sense of like of danger, of like doom, of like of like darkness almost. That's like expressed with the soundtrack and with sound effects and with the acting and the directing and the overall production of Daredevil. It's always had that energy, that type of quality to it. That life, that energy, it's fun. Like Imran said, like very Sopranos, like it's fun to see Fisk, be more like himself as mayor and like, break the rules and go, and go in that dark direction. Right. When I first saw that photo, I thought that Fisk had kidnapped the wife and kid,
right
at first.
Right.
Yeah, until they explained, until it was explained, I'm like, damn, that's hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy fuck, And it makes sense when you think about it, that the cops would dislike Kingpin, that they would dislike Fisk. You know, the whole thing with the commissioner, it's all very sensical. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and you know, it's only in the non, you know, real, you know, environments and arenas like media and things like that, where people like Wilson Fisk Kingpin can just pretend they're not who they actually are, right? And people will actually allow it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, in other areas of life, it's not going to play. You know what I mean? Like, he's still going to be held accountable for his past actions, right? You know, so the hole in the road scene.
Well, I love that. I did love the
shot
fixing the hole. Yeah,
I forgot about that one.
He's like, fix this hole. Look, I'm doing stuff. Fix the hole. I got the hole.
Great. You know, great small scene. You know, that was
stuff my hole. I mean the hole.
Stuff my hole. What is this? He's like, what is this hole? Just fill it already.
If they're gonna have episodes like this, they gotta have scenes like that. They gotta have stuff happening like that that makes it, you know, appealing and interesting like that. You know, and moments like that are the moments where you can root for Kingpin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, as the villain, you know?
I kind of feel like he does have like good intentions. Like, he kind of cares. But really, if you think about it, the skill set you gain as a mob boss is exactly the skill set you need to be the mayor of a large city. It's
he does have good intentions. You don't have to watch. You don't have to watch all 3 seasons of Daredevil to know that he has some good intentions, because it's you know, as a character, he expresses it very clearly in season 1 of Daredevil. That you know, that you see it. You know, that's season 1 of Daredevil is really, you know, that dichotomy of the flipped coin, Imran. Of the, you know, that's what that season's all about of Daredevil, is that duality of the 2 characters, you know, rubbing against each other, and that commonality that they have as people, you know, that, you know, that's kind of, you know, strange. How Fisk likes him almost, you know, even though he despises pretty much everybody,
he respects him. He respects him.
There's something about him that's appealing, you know, to him, you know, that he finds, you know, respectable, you know, or like whatever, traditional, you know, because he does have those positive thoughts, you know, or that mentality that can be positive. It's not all evil. It's not all, you know, all crime, you know.
For a guy that looks like he's about to snap at any second.
I mean, he expresses it very clearly.
I'm not sure.
And you'll see it during this series. You know, now in 2025, you're going to see him, you know, drop lines and talk about doing really evil criminal shit for the good of, you know, the benefit of society, for, you know, for the good of, you know, like, you know what I mean? That's his, that's kind of his MO, is, you know, Kingpin is that, you know, mindset of, you know, I have to go beyond the rules. I have to, you know, do these things. You know,
that's how you get shit done sometimes, you know? That's the only way you can get shit done, especially in a mayor of New York City. Come on.
True that.
He's just a very multi-layered, interesting character, you know, that really works well as a, you know, as a villain, you know, as a you know, a core character for Daredevil. He's a good cog for the show, you know, a good piece. And the ending of episode 2 is solid. It ends well. You know, that sort of rapid, quick, you know, violence that you see with Matt is traditional Daredevil, hand to hand. You know, he can be that quick and that efficient when he wants to be. You know, he has that type of level that he can go to. And I thought it was very equitable. The amount of punishment and violence that he doled out that quickly was very equitable to the beating he took. You know, because in real life he took a beating. You know, like, seriously, they put a beating on him. You know, like, you'd be in the hospital after taking a, you know, some, I mean, getting kicked like that in the face and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I mean, he got fucked up pretty good there for a minute. You know, Fisk or no Fisk, there are dirty cops in Hell's Kitchen. You know, New York City. Like, you know, like, they're a part of Daredevil. We've seen them before. They're not new to Daredevil. Right. There are elements of the police that are not you know, respectable and professional in all cities and things like that. You know what I mean? So that has nothing to do with Fisk. That's just, Hell's Kitchen, police, officers. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, unfortunately, are just like this, just as bad as criminals, right? It just depends on which one you're talking about. There's other ones that are like heroes.
It's ballsy of them to even deal with this kind of in the climate of everything these days. I was like, oh man, they're going after cops and shit. That's fucking ballsy. So
in real life, it's very much how things are in real life.
Yeah,
there's shitty bad cops in real life.
There's bad apples in everything.
I've experienced them personally in my own life. Unfortunately, they're that are corrupt. You know what I'm saying, and whatnot. And then there's a lot of ones that aren't. You know what I mean? But there are ones that are flat out corrupt. You know what I'm saying, to the bone, and they do not give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes, depending on what you're doing personally, in your personal life and in your private life, in your affairs, sometimes you like a cop like that don't give a fuck, because they're the ones that let you go. You know what I mean? And not arrest you when you're drunk driving and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And take your drugs from you instead of arresting you for them and things like that. You know what I mean? That's actually beneficial.
Yes,
that's helpful to you.
Sometimes you want those cops, yes.
Yes, I've experienced situations in my life where that's happened, and that's been good for me. So that's pretty much it. We didn't rate episode 1, but
I'm gonna save it towards the end after
it's like definitely a 10 for me, and 2 is easily like a 7.5 or an 8. It's a solid episode of Daredevil TV. You know what I'm saying? Not very action packed. You know what I mean? More story driven and character driven.
Yeah. I agree.
I like the element of the marriage therapy stuff, the marriage counseling with Matt's girlfriend.
Yeah.
That actually could be very interesting throughout the course of the series if they continue and keep that in the storyline.
Because she's gonna know things that may be useful to Matt, but she won't be able to tell him.
They could go in a really interesting direction.
I was expecting for him to say because it's hot.
It's got hardcore Sopranos vibes to it. It really does. And
yeah.
It could be a really beneficial element, layer to add to the to Daredevil. To be honest with you, it could really grow into something. You know what I mean? And it could be dangerous to Matt's girlfriend. To her health, unfortunately, right? We don't know what's really going on there because again, we had the Fisk person show up at the book event.
Yeah.
That could be something. That could be relevant down the road. I think they were just basically trying to feel her out. You know what I mean? Like before Fisk would use her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I
who
think
knows?
the term "feel her out" has a double meaning in this case.
Yeah, baby, feel her out. Yeah, most definitely, Raymond. I'm with you on that. I wish I was, receiving some under the table, head job as they used to call it back in the day.
Therapy.
Head job experience, baby.
Manual therapy is what you're looking for.
Yeah. I've never had that happen before. I just had that one time where I guested on the Black Lincoln Collective podcast, and I was banging a chick right when I signed on the StreamYard to do the show. So I was naked. You know what I'm saying?
Show that on the internet. Wait a minute.
I was like, just give me a minute, guys, and I was naked and put
repeat story.
And she walked up to the computer and told the guys that I just turned her out right before I came out there. It was dope. But besides that, I would tell the truth if I never had any under the table, Johnny Carson, casting couch action on the Bleeding Edge. And as of yet, at the 4-year mark of the MCU's Bleeding Edge with Cyber, and a couple of years with Andre's pop culture guy, I have not yet experienced that moment yet.
It's good to have goals, though, So.
Yeah.
I've heard of happy endings at a massage place, but a therapy? Sign me up.
That desk in my room is not very tall, so you'd really have to really compartmentalize yourself and do some light crawler, Olympics, gymnastic type positions and shit and everything, to get in there and get that dick in your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
The hell, where you live then?
He lives in Florida. I think Florida is the most messed up country ever, maybe.
Yeah, it is. Florida, man, baby. I'm in Florida, man. I'm telling you right now, when you watch
Florida's not a country.
When you watch crazy murder serial killer documentaries and shit on YouTube, every other one is in Florida, set in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. So it's an interesting state.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for your awesome and
seems crowded, but whatever.
Yeah, second story of Florida and your therapist. But anyway, therapy session. Anyway, Cyber, your thoughts on the final section of episode 2, sir, and you can rate your rating for episode 1 and 2, and I will get to you, Raymond and Imran, your ratings. Let's start with Cyber first. Cyber, go ahead.
The best part of the ending was when Matt finally kicked some ass. That was my favorite part of the ending. Otherwise, I once again, I thought that it was leeching on too much to the previous part we were talking about, and just was kind of like but overall, I really enjoyed the fight sequence at the end. I thought that was really badass, and he kicked the shit out of those guys, which was really awesome. I love that they gave us a nice, good, clean act of violence there, and gave us this, great kind of way to end the episode with some action, really getting back into that Daredevil comic book vibe. So I really appreciated that, and I thought that was a solid ending. So for ratings, overall, episode 1, I have to give a 5.
Oh, man.
Because they killed Foggy. 2.
I saw that coming.
Episode 2, I'll give a 9-2. Simply the fact that that ending was so on point and the beginning was so on point. So I have to give it a solid 9.
Thank you, Saber, for that. Wow, crazy ratings. Raymond, your thoughts, your rating for episode 1 and 2, please.
I'm gonna give episode 1 a 7.5 and 2 a 9 as well.
Very good. Imran, your ratings for episode 1 and 2. So.
Man, I mean, that one-er action shot in the beginning and the conversation at the diner, 2 solid pieces of TV, and then just having end with him winning. I'm gonna give episode. I really like both of these, but I'm about the same. I'm like 8.5, I think, on both episodes, and overall so far, I'm like 8.5 for the show. It's got potential, but it's definitely started out on the right foot and with the right tone, and it's I appreciate it being stylish. And it's episodic. It's not like the previous Marvel shows. It feels like an proper episodic TV show. It feels confident and knows what it is. So I think it's going to get better by the end. And it already has started great, and I feel like it's going to get even better. So
most definitely, I would agree with you, Rod. It usually does happen after episode 2 that, if it's going to get better, it does,
Yeah. No. I mean, with the Scream, hopefully he gets in the suit in next episode, because that needs to happen. I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, he's got all the different colored cowls and things.
Yeah,
you gotta wear all of them. We gotta try them all on.
Yeah, well, I mean, they played "Get Free by the Vines." I think that's already foreshadowing that he's going to let the devil free.
Yeah, that's true. I love how under nose that was. That's yeah. So my rating for this first episode, I kind of in with you guys a little bit. It's not high 9s, but maybe 8. Episode 1, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, and then episode 2, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I think there were good episodes. It took us in a good direction for this season, but there were little nitpicks and a little pacing problem I had here and there. But overall, I was very excited. I'm very excited to talk about the show in the next 9 weeks. So thank you guys for your awesome discussion. Sorry about this long 2-hour, folks, but there was a lot to talk about with this episode. I really appreciate your time and patience here. So it was great to talk to you guys, Raymond and Emin. It was great to see you guys. You were awesome. Thank you for your patience and your awesome discussions. I really appreciate that. now, Jeff, you can take us and plug this out. I just want to thank everyone for your time. Have a good night.
Andres, no apologies necessary, brother. You did a good job. 2.5 hours with Daredevil is not surprising. You know what I'm saying? 2 episodes, it's actually not bad. Hey, folks, listen. We at the MCU's Bleeding Edge, and all of our guest creators appreciate you very much. Checking us out. Our reviews, of course, of Daredevil episode 1 and 2. The Marvel Studios produced Disney Plus series. We love all of you out there. How did my empty window just pop up?
There's a ghost in that chair that just.
There you go, folks. That's my ghost twin.
Yeah.
In the other studio that just somehow actually opened the StreamYard studio.
The mouse. Wow.
Yes, and opened.
Wait, you didn't do that?
No.
That's weird. That is weird. Oh, and now we lost.
Now
the ghost canceled Jeff. What is happening?
This is how some horror movies have started.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I'm telling you right now.
The new Paranormal Activity movie?
Jesus Christ, guys. I'm fucking with him. Jesus.
Okay. That's right.
Good God.
Okay. There we go.
Look at this. A transgender cop car. Look at that. Are you guys cops, or you just identify as cops?
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta love that Canadian LGBTQ plus police car.
That cop after that video beat the shit out of that guy. Yeah.
For real. On like a Daredevil level.
Yes.
All
that caught on camera.
They should get their shit beat out of them for having a fucking LGBT plus logo on the fucking car, man. That is goddamn ridiculous. That is literally a prime reason why Canada is so fucked. Is our elements like that, But anyways, folks, that's for another day. And another recording of a different kind, not the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel podcast for you folks. And we appreciate you. We are a podcast, so do us a solid. If you stuck around with us this long, feel free to review us, rate us, follow us on the podcast. Of course, give some love to Raymond and give some love to Imran. We're going to do plugs right now and get to everybody else's actual content besides the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. So we'll start with Mr. Booze and Chill first, since he's first on the list. And we'll go to Mr. Booze and Chill's YouTube channel. Raymond, sir, Mr. Booze and Chill, you have the floor.
All right, good. Hopefully I don't miss anything like I did last time. So the Booze and Chill YouTube channel, I review alcoholic beverages, cocktails, spirits, beers of all kinds of styles. I also break down movie trailers. Every now and then I do actual full-on movie watches. I also break down music videos, and occasionally, I haven't done it in a while, but I also do some food stuff, food pairing with drinks and stuff like that. I also have the Booze and Chill Buzzcast podcast, and that goes on every Wednesday. They usually start at around like 5:30 a.m., so you can watch it anytime after that. You don't have to necessarily wake your ass up that early, because that's insane. I'm not a monster like that. Mm-hmm. You can also catch it on Spotify. You can catch it on Spotify. And to further support, you can also head to Patreon/Booze and Show. You can see the making of, behind the scenes, special announcements, and very what's the word I'm looking for here? You're just gonna get videos that you're not gonna get on the tubes, as I call it. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, and I think that's pretty much it. I think I got everything this time.
There you go. We appreciate you, Raymond. It's good to see you again, sir. We missed you. I want to say probably that what was the last thing that you did with us? I can't even remember. God.
I think it was.
I was trying to remember this earlier. What the last thing was that you?
I think he did.
What was it? Was it What If?
Yeah, it was What If.
What If? That's right.
Yeah.
I was trying to think about it. Yeah, it was What If.
There you go. Yeah, it was What If. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, so next, of course, our good friend who we seriously missed, Mr. Imran, who had not been with us for like literally a whole series, you know.
Yeah.
So his presence, had seriously had not been around here very often. But Imran, please discuss and tell us about Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Well, look, we provide for the listener, if you subscribe to the Jock and Nerd Podcast every week, a 2-hour escape from the insanity that is real life, right? Like, it's great to keep up on politics, but sometimes you just don't want to think about that. Then you come listen to us. You'll get reviews of superhero, comic book, TV, and movie properties, news, reviews, and we have a fun time. We love old action movies. We just reviewed The Karate Kid and Cobra Kai season 6, the greatest karate saga of all time. Ask anyone. But MCU, DCU, Invincible, all this stuff. We love talking about it, geeking about stuff that doesn't matter, but it's fun to talk about because real life is a little crazy. So come escape with us.
There you go. Yes.
Life is crazy.
A lot going on. A lot going on topically on the Jock and Nerd Podcast with Imran and his whole team over there. It's a good podcast. They've been around for a while. They pack a lot into, their 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, every week, so there's a lot there to work with. As we already discussed earlier, Imran and over at Jock and Nerd, those guys probably cover more TV than we do. We cover a lot of fucking TV.
Listen, no matter whatever happens, there'll be a new show every Wednesday. We've put out a new show every week for the past 10 years now coming up. We'll be completing 10 years of podcasting. So
that is very commendable, sir. I respect that 100%.
It's crazy. I feel like I passed out. I don't know what happened, but we'll show up every week to make fun of stuff. It's lots of fun.
Speaking of every week, I failed to mention the live streams on Thursdays, and I'm giving away free gourmet popcorn every Thursday now.
Yeah, you're giving away stuff. That's amazing.
Every Thursday, thanks to my sponsors.
Thank you, Raymond. Mr. Booze and Chill, we appreciate you. All right, Mr. Time Cop, Time Lord, I know he's a pop culture guy, sir. Here you go. Plug out.
Wow. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Fuck you, Cyber. Serenity now. Uchi Mama. Anyway, if you guys are sci-fi fans, you understand that reference. I'm Andreas, pop culture guy, not Cyberneticshark. I'm Andreas, pop culture guy, the handsome Time Lord. I recently posted my top 10 favorite 2024 films for the Oscars that we got from Sunday. Check it out. And I recently post, a couple of things like scenes from movies or TV. Just for now. Tomorrow I'm gonna post my Daredevil 10th anniversary. Sorry, for this iconic character. The Netflix show is 10 years actually, which is crazy for the show. So that's great. I check out, of course, the top 6 Gene Hackman movie scenes. Fortunately, he passed away last month. Great actor, sorely missed. He was amazing. So please check it out. Next live stream view this Sunday is going to be Daredevil, the 2015 Netflix show. All 3 seasons, all none. Tonight I'm going to send the recounts for Jeff and Cyber. Check it out there. It's right there. Thank you so much. And I will get back to doing shorts as well. I just need to do my script and all that. Then you will probably see like a short review of my thoughts on the episode 1 and 2 of Daredevil Born Again. Hopefully maybe tomorrow or Friday, something like that. So, but yeah, thank you so much, you guys. It was a pleasure moderating this live stream review of Daredevil Born Again, episode 1 and 2.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Andres, the pop culture guy. So we got one last member of the guest panel. That would be Mr. Cyberneticshark, sir. There you
Guest
are.
panel. Guest panel.
Thank you, Jeff.
Guest panel.
Here's the floor, sir.
I don't think he's caught it yet.
Yeah.
So first off, I'm not a guest. I am a co-host here on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. No. Anyway,
I said guest panel, sir.
Yeah. Anyways, so if you enjoy me here on the panel or as a moderator on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge, you can check out my solo content. You'll find me under Cyberneticshark. And once again, unlike Andreas says, I am not half human, half shark, half robot. I'm a mixture of all. But anyways, check out my content, folks. You can check out my most recent video, Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. Just put that up yesterday. Definitely, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Or if you haven't seen my most recent review, Flight Risk, which is a new Mel Gibson film, check that one out too as well. I most recently put up a short called Mute Witness, which is a 1995 horror thriller and is a very interesting film. If you haven't seen that short, definitely check out that too as well. I'll be having some more shorts up for you guys soon. Went and saw a couple movies on Tuesday. Went and saw Paddington in Peru and also saw Last Breath, which is based on a true story of a deep sea diver. Starring Woody Harrelson, Cliff Curtis, and Simu Liu. So be checking out those shorts for those films. And also I'll be doing the full-length reviews of those soon. Keep your eyes out for some more reviews coming up soon. I'll be uploading some for you guys. Also, I'll be doing some more shorts too as well, like I just said. So yeah, if you enjoyed me here, definitely go check that out. And as always, I want to thank the great panel that we had tonight. Imran and of course Mr. Ramon, where you should definitely check out both their channels, folks. Fantastic podcast, especially both of them. But anyways, check them out, folks. Check them out. But anyways, have a good night.
There you go. And again, we appreciate everybody out there. Have a I guess a wonderful rest of the week, since it is technically, it was Wednesday, 3/5/2025. We've advanced past that, on this live stream.
Not my time zone.
It's still Wednesday. It's still Wednesday here. It's still Wednesday over here.
Yeah, here too.
That's right. Okay, that's the fun of time zones, folks. So anyways, at the end of the day, we appreciate everybody out there. Do all the fun things like follow, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. We'll see everybody on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge again, at least on Friday for Edge of Tomorrow, which should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll be doing Daredevil episode 3 next week, with a couple of different guest creators with us. But I'm sure we'll see Imran and Raymond again very soon. And thanks again, guys. Like Cyber said, thanks, Cyber. Thank you, Andres. Great job, sir. And folks, we will see you on the next one. Peace.
He can't see you.
What?
He can't see you.
What can't see what?
Because I don't have no balls here.
What do you mean you have no balls?
Is there supposed to be balls in here?
There's balls in your sack, dude. You're fine, dude. They don't go away.
There's no in here. What is those?
Chloe, knock it off, dude. What are you talking about?
There's no. Remember?
I don't need to see them.
Do you know those?